So I think I might have mentioned it last time we were on. I got a little Buffalo Trace.
Brother, that is exactly what is right here. You'll just have to believe me. I
I
found
believe
some.
you. I
I got
we went did a little grocery shopping. A little
wow.
weekly grocery trip.
You got a classic
And I
palate
said,
there, Todd.
Mary, I gotta go check. I'm hearing it's hot in the streets that Buffalo Trace is just back on the shelf, ready for action.
Yeah, they had the limit two per customer sign on the thing.
Yeah.
And you know what, Todd? There were only 2 left on the shelf, and I was a nice guy. I only took one because they're like
Look at you.
$28. It's like pretty cheap.
It's the
For how
best
good it is.
tasting value bourbon. Absolutely.
Yeah, which makes sense, and as say them and Weller's, but it's like
Yeah.
same distillery. And
Oh, yeah,
it's so
that's it.
funny because it's so hard to find like in grocery stores. But meanwhile, it's like I don't know the last time you've flown or for whatever reason, airports and airplanes have no issue getting Buffalo Trace.
Right?
That's always what the shooter is.
Right. Well, we went to Colorado. That was the only question. I was like, it's like an 8 a.m. flight, 8:30 flight. I was like, hey, do you have any, can I get like a bourbon and Coke? And she was like, yeah, what bourbon do you want? Yeah. She's like, what bourbon do you want? And I was like, what do you got? First thing she listed off, I said, just give me a Diet Coke. I want the bourbon in a glass. I just want the Diet Coke for afterwards to just to relish in the fact that it's been 2 years since I've been able to find this anywhere, and somehow a Delta flight to Denver on a Tuesday afternoon or a Tuesday morning has bourbon. Just didn't make any sense.
You were looking high and wide. You just didn't look up. That's where all it is. Well, cheers, buddy.
So good too. It's so good.
That's so funny because I literally just got some. So cheers to you. Happy Super Bowl weekend.
Happy Super Bowl weekend, dude.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm like we're also in like this baby's gonna be here in like a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's insane how fast time goes when something like that is coming about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And trying to navigate we got to get the house ready. We got to get the room ready. And I wouldn't say we're crafty vets at this point because when Declan was born, he was born at the end of March. And I don't know. His room was ready before Christmas. We were like, we got to get everything going. We got to do it right now. We've just been doing things as it feels right with this guy.
Yeah, but now you have that experience where you're like, we went way too early.
Yeah. It's just a whole different world. And it's like, Mary's like, you know what? I'll get some clothes together. We saved everything of Declan's that wasn't covered in shit. So, we're a good spot, buddy. It's just crazy. Time goes so fast. It's absolutely a thief.
Well, good luck to you guys. Do you know?
Thanks, man.
Have you picked out like a name or?
We do have a name. I promised Mary we would save it for when we announce that
he is sharing it. That's no problem.
Yeah, we can discuss post pod what the little fella's going to be named.
Okay, perfect. Well, very excited for you guys. That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. Well, let's see here. You got Super Bowl coming. I mean, here's the thing. You're going to have March Madness rolling around when you're just, you have an excuse to stay home.
Dude, I talked to my boss today. It's like, what's the word? And I was like, man, I got to tell you, this is definitely my son because I believe that he's going to be born on play-in week. He's like, what? I said, I'm like, tentatively, he's coming on play-in week. And he was like, he couldn't have timed that up any better. And I said, I know. I said, I have to take at least 2 to 3 weeks, really, really make sure we have a bond, get through a couple weekends, see how things go, and then we'll see what happens after those first 2 weeks. He was like, hey, man, if you just want to stay home to watch college basketball, just tell me.
Just tell me.
Don't lie to me, please.
You guys are gonna be back home running a Bayheim like zone.
Dude, box of one. boxing one.
You can't be running man to man. You can't.
No.
You're not
I'll catch you at midcourt. We'll get set up. I'm always going to have a rover. Super aggressive. We'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We'll be totally fine.
Oh man. Well, speaking of basketball, dude, I can't believe I talked so much shit about the NBA, like up and down, being like, whose dumbass idea was it to have the trade deadline the week of Super Bowl? Like, have it the week before when there's, the entire week off, or have it the week after, right? Like, own that news cycle, because the NBA, all the talk this year has been, ratings are down, viewership's down, interest is down. And then lo and behold, an absolute lightning bolt just rips through the fucking NBA. And of course, I'm talking about the Luka trade from Dallas to Los Angeles. And one of the other odd parts about it was, especially living East Coast, the time that it broke. I think it broke at like midnight, 1 a.m, something like that.
Yeah. I wake up at
did you
5
hear
o'clock
about it that night? I was gonna say, you didn't learn about it until the morning then, right?
No, I wake up to, I don't know, 100 Twitter notifications.
Yeah.
And every single one is like, Luka to LA. And I was like, all right, what's going on here? And then you start reading into it and you're like, oh my God, Anthony Davis and Luka are involved in a 3-team trade. What's going on here? Because it's, we've all played 2K, right?
Couldn't make that trade in the game.
We've tried that trade. We've tried that. We've been down this road before. Oh, let's trade our franchise.
I'm going to give you he's a high overall, and he's 6 years older. And like the computer's like, oh, well, he's a 93, so that's pretty fair.
Yeah, and Dallas was like, all I need is Max Christie. Just give me Max Christie, and we're fine.
Sweetener.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. I really like it. It is one of the most lopsided, wild trades I've ever seen in my life. So that Saturday, so my birthday was the Tuesday prior. So we did that Saturday night was like birthday celebration. We went to the Rock Hall and we went to like a nice dinner, like one of my favorite steak restaurants in our area. And even booking like a month and a half before, we couldn't get a dinner reservation until like 9 o'clock that night.
Holy shit.
I was like, whatever. Yeah, I was like, but whatever, fine. We'll do the Rock Hall. We'll come home. We had went and got a cocktail in between, like got an espresso martini. And when I tell you caffeine fucks my shit up, like I can't drink caffeine after 2 o'clock or I will be up all night. So it's like I do dry January. This is like my first night. My wife's like, I'll drive. Obviously, it's your birthday. Like, have a couple cocktails with dinner. I'm like, Daddy's gonna get some old fashions. Like, having a good time. I got the espresso coursing through my veins. My wife's been asleep for 3 hours at this point. And I'm like, it's like 1 a.m. I'm like, I think it's time to start winding it down. And then I'm like, what the fuck? I stayed up till 3:30 in the morning. I was just listening to emergency podcasts, like just engaging. I was up till like 3:30. It was absolutely
bananas. Boy.
Oh boy, who do we got here? Gator Gary?
Boy, it is a pleasure to be here tonight. Boys, it is a pleasure to be here tonight. The Super Bowl is in Louisiana. Let's go. How we doing? Are y'all doing good?
We're doing just fine. We haven't even gotten
Holy
to the
shit.
Super Bowl, Corey. I want to know, how did you find out about the Luka trade?
Well, I was taking care of the Gators.
Of course.
And then my cousin Jim, Jim, he didn't want to stand outside the road. He'd always wearing a NASCAR t-shirt. He'd tell the people to bring the car down. The Gators just down the road. He tell me, he said, Luka is gone.
Yeah,
and
he's the town doctor / blacksmith.
But yes, also sheriff.
Of course.
Yeah. Go hand in hand.
Crazy shit.
Go hand in hand.
You know what else is crazy? Is I tell you, I found this beverage. It is tequila and a raccoon appendix reduction, and it's really good when you mix it together.
That sounds disgusting.
Damn.
Me and Todd were lucky enough to find some Buffalo Trace.
Oh,
Or,
that's good for you. All right, Corey's back for a second. No, Luca's fucking insane. The more I think about this, all right, let me talk to you about this real quick. I hate Luca. I don't think I think he's probably one of the most overrated basketball players in the NBA. Luca and James Harden are the same player to me. They are really, really, really good at scoring. That's it. They slow the game down at the same time. They don't pass the ball. Like they like James Harden and Luca have this stuff.
but they have to have the usage to pass it.
Like Luca,
Luca
will
very high assist total players.
Luca will probably be in the Hall of Fame. He will probably be all pro. Like he will probably lead the league in scoring. Like he'll do all of this type of stuff. LeBron will be the reason they win a championship.
I cannot believe. So I don't know what kind of paint chips they're serving down in Gator Gary's area.
Boy, the boy played worse defense than Donovan Mitchell. He played worse defense than Donovan Mitchell.
Hey, Donovan tries pretty hard on defense. It helps when you have Jared Allen and Evan Mobley behind you, but
Yeah, a little. Speaking of which,
you say that, don't get me wrong. I understand the Luka Doncic point you're making of it's not aesthetically pleasing basketball. It's a lot of, Luka's going to have a 35 to 40% usage rate. Always has the ball in his hand. It's either he creates for others or he's the one scoring. Similar to James Harden, where I agree with you. I think Luka is more dynamic, and I mean, let's face it, he just dragged the Mavericks to the finals just this last year. So.
Luka's better than James Harden. I will concede that 100%. Yeah, I will concede that. My point is more so that they play the same type of like heavy possession basketball. Whereas like guys like LeBron, guys like Steph, like even guys like, since we're talking about LeBron and Steph, we might as well mention guys like Kobe. Like they create without the ball in their hand is basically what I'm saying.
Right.
Luka, to be successful, has to have the ball in his hand. Luka is not a get his shot off quick guy. That's just the style of game that he plays, which is like Luka's a good basketball player. Like, don't get me wrong.
And Kobe was a legitimately good defender. Like,
sure, and the game was completely different.
Through most of his career
the game was completely different. 10 years ago, a finals game was not breaking 97 points. Like, it just wasn't happening. Right? The game's just different, and we can all. That's not the point. My point is like, I don't like the way Luka plays. First of all, he's fun to watch. Like those can be different things, and also I think Luka is a baby bitch. Like he's a pussy, dude. He's such a crybaby. There's not anyone that bitches about officiating in the NBA, even LeBron, more than Luka. And LeBron, by the way, can because he's LeBron. Luka has not earned that yet, in my opinion.
Interesting.
He ain't the GOAT. LeBron's the GOAT. Are we ready?
Todd, what do you think it does to LeBron though? Like, because like I was at the point now where I was like, he's probably got a year or two left. I mean, we've always said his skill set can age like wine if he really wants it.
Realistically, I think we're talking about. So his son's going to Arizona next year, right?
Yeah, I think so. So he's got what? I think he's going to hang on to play with both of his kids.
3 more years,
be
dude.
3 Jameses dressed up in a trench coat.
And the thing is, Bryce is so much better too.
Yeah, he is actually significantly better than Bronny. Like, just like lockdown defender, can like crazy jump. He's a stud. So.
You know who else is a stud?
He's got some thickness to him, too.
Boy, you know who else is a stud? I just got this new albino. We call him Mike. He is a stud. And what I mean stud, the Lady Gators love him. You know what I'm saying? You got come on down to Gators, Gator Gary's Gator Sanctuary, and see our new albino Gator pups this spring. Woo!
Gator Gary is intimidating.
What you know about that? What you know about that right there, boys?
I'll tell you what, I've seen If Don Draper were watching right now, he'd be hard as a rock.
Dude, I had fucking shades on, and I was like, I look like Walter Sobchak's fucking brother. Like, I can't wear these fucking glasses right now.
You look like you could be Joe Exotic's next husband, buddy.
You do.
Hey, when
he's got too many teeth.
What did he say? What did Joe Exotic say? He's like, I was watching. I'd say, hey, when you watch porn, do you like just two chicks? You like have a guy in there sometimes? Like, yeah, it's a guy in there sometimes. Well, you want him to have like a real small wiener or a nice big one? It's like, well, I definitely don't want it to be small. It's like, you ain't that straight. Like that's how Joe Exotic turned these boys. Like,
Well, the meth had something to do with it.
yeah, and the crystal meth.
And the crystal meth.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, there's a little sales going on in the background.
Word is Joe Exotic pretty bummed out the Trumpster's not pardoned him yet.
Yeah. I thought that was his ticket. Thought that was the ticket, boys.
What a hilarious human being. Like that, there was a moment of time the entire country was encapsulated by Joe Exotic.
It's the best thing we had.
It is. It's all we had, right?
Yeah, we were all clinging to the idea that there was a guy out there in federal prison who could just coerce men into getting married and having, polygamous marriage. It was bizarre. It's just bizarre. Bizarre shit that you can't even wrap your head around. And then you watch that documentary and you're like, holy shit.
You also had millions of people convinced that Carol Baskins killed her husband and fed him to tigers. Like,
if I'm Joe Exotic, I would have probably snuck about halfway through the January 6th pardon line, and they would have been like, "Yep, next."
Yeah,
he fits right in.
Yeah,
like Idiocracy, where he's just like, "I'm actually supposed to be leaving today," and he's like, "Oh, the wrong line,
you're in the wrong line, dumbass."
He could have got that.
What a movie. What a film.
So we were talking Gator Gary, Corey, before you got on. How I was making fun of the NBA up and down because they had the trade deadline the week of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Not the week before when there's much less going on, not the week after when you can just outright own it. And somehow, in true NBA fashion, they kind of stuck the landing. Where I have talked more about the NBA this week than the NFL. And partially, I think that's a little bit due to Eagle Chief fatigue.
Yeah.
Don't really need to see Electric 2 Boogaloo leading up to it. I have watched nothing, boys, leading up to this Super Bowl. How about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I know how the game's gonna go. So like I'm like the game is going. I'm going to watch every snap of the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Oh, that's not even a question.
Yeah, but like I will be numb to the results of the Super Bowl. The only way I won't is if like the Chiefs just get fucking destroyed. Like that will be the only way. I'll be like, oh my God, this is happening. You know what I mean? Which isn't going to happen, by the way. But
could be. I mean, it could be like that Buccaneers
nope.
Chiefs game. It could.
Nope. That's not what's going to happen. They're going to win. And then Travis Kelce will propose and then retire. And that's
you think that's it? You think that's the move for him?
If they win, I think he's done.
I think he retires.
Yeah.
I think he probably does anyway. I mean, at this point,
he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I don't think his stock can really get much higher. I don't think he really has anything left to prove.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Hey, you've won 4 Super Bowls. You're the only starting tight end to ever win 3 in a row. You are a first ballot Hall of Famer. You have more postseason receptions than any other person that's ever lived. Oh, and your girlfriend is the most successful performer to ever breathe oxygen. Do you want to just like chill and raise children? Sound good? Sound good? Sound good? Or even better, just like travel the world and party. Do you want to just do that? Does that sound good?
Right.
Yeah.
He's like got a solid 2 years of it.
And like a solid podcast too. Like he's got one of the best podcasts in America. Like he's good. He's good. Like
and
he has nothing
just
else
like his
to
brother was this past year, he'll be on every 4 or 5 person panel.
Yes.
want him on.
Yes,
Or that he'll
absolutely.
want to be on.
He hosted a fucking game show. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he hosted a game show.
It's crazy that
And you're not even talking about The Bachelor or whatever.
No.
Was it like Catching
No.
Kelsey? Isn't that his?
Yeah,
Bachelor
no, he
show?
hosted like an he hosted like an Amazon.
It's Are You Smarter
some version
Than
of
Celebrity?
Correct.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. He is
Probably.
So, all right, so here okay,
Yes.
so here's where we're at now. So Jeff Foxworthy and Travis Kelsey are now on the same level of celebrity, right? That's where we're at.
They're gonna like
No.
Dragon Ball Z,
Much higher.
Trunks and Gohan. They're gonna fuse. Jeff Foxworthy, Travis Kelsey. He's already got the mustache going. They're just gonna. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. As Travis Kelsey gets older, his legs get more and more bow-legged too. It's just
Yeah.
natural progression.
Just only Wrangler straight cut jeans from here on out.
Yes.
I got a feeling Gator Gary went to a couple blue collar tours.
Who boy? I tell you, there's nobody I think is funnier on this planet than my man, Larry the Cable Guy. Get her done. That is a funny man.
That's it. If Gator Gary shows his knuckles, that's what it says on the knuckles. It says get her done.
done.
Get her done.
He's got Tugger tattooed on his ass.
Oh man.
Here's your son.
Here's your side.
That's Mr. Bill Engvall. That's Mr. Bill Engvall.
He was the smart one. Actually,
Yeah.
Ron White objectively is a great stand-up. Like
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah,
he did not.
He's legitimately
he
a
did
good
not
comedian.
need to be a part of that tour. at
No,
all.
he'll be at Soaring Eagle in Mount Pleasant, 2 hours north of here, April 18th it's a Friday. I'm like, dude, might have to pull the trigger and just go see Ron White because I think he's fucking hilarious.
He's hilarious. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I don't know what his timeline is of still performing too, because he's damn near close to 70.
Yep. Well, he doesn't drink any longer. He doesn't drink anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He
a
does-
sober guy now.
He smokes pot and eats mushrooms. That's what he talks about all
Yeah.
the time. And he's got long silver hair. Like, yeah, it's wild.
Him and Rogan just hang out in Austin and do psychedelics and try to bring every comedian to Texas now.
It's something about his delivery, man. It's just perfect. He's got it mastered down.
It's natural. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very natural. Oh man.
Ron White. And those were the fun. Like those, I don't know. Those made me laugh. The Blue Collar Comedy Tour made me laugh. I
I
enjoyed
remember
them.
watching him. Yeah.
I enjoyed them. I thought they were funnier.
Fuck yeah, dude. We would have been like what, 11, 12 when those first got popular.
I had the DVDs.
Yes. Of course.
I
you
had
did.
Blue Collar Comedy Tour Rides Again. I had it.
That was
Yeah.
also when it was like, now it's like you watch Netflix or whatever, Hulu special, or whoever's got a special on wherever. But it was like Comedy Central was like, that's where you would watch specials, or maybe you knew somebody who had HBO.
HBO,
I'd watch Carlin over it, like something like that was.
I just remember I would try and stay up through the Colbert Report so that I could watch the Chappelle Show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it would just be on until it would turn into Girls Gone Wild commercials. I'd like beat my pud and then like wake up in the middle of the night to a fucking ShamWow slap chop commercial.
Yeah.
And you're just laying there like, I could actually use one of those ShamWows.
It's that absorbent.
We're gonna throw in an extra jizz rag just for you.
Doesn't look like there's any mess there either. No residuals left on
It's
that
the
countertop.
perfect. Yeah,
That's
it's the
so
perfect
stupid.
product placement. Have
got
you been
all the
coming
yogurt
for the
on it.
last 3 hours? ShamWow.
The worst part is he went to jail for beating up a prostitute.
The ShamWow
Sham-
guy.
ShamWow guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full
He was on
circle.
Kill Tony.
Recently?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
No way.
What?
Yeah,
Like he
He
did
goes
a
out
spot,
and does-
or he was a panel guy.
he was at the bar where everybody sits for Kill Tony, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the comedians comes up and goes, "I was just talking to the fucking ShamWow guy over there."
Did they bring
Like-
him out?
Yeah, they're like, fuck yeah, bring him over here.
That's so funny.
He's clearly coked out. He has some dude that's with him that is on at least a 5 to 6 day meth bender.
Yes.
Like they're trying to tell jokes, and he keeps calling him his security guy is like telling a story, and Tony Hinchcliffe goes, "All right, that's enough." And then that was it. And he's like, "We're gonna hang out with the ShamWow guy after this is over." Like, can you just imagine, like, you're hosting a show, all of a sudden ShamWow guy shows up, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go do some coke in the bathroom?" You're not gonna say no. I'm not saying no. Do I want to? No. Am I going to get that opportunity again?
Yeah, ride the lightning, dude. Just ride the lightning. Yeah. Just say yes to life. You know, Jim Carrey did it in that movie, and he ended up with Zoe Deschanel. So things work out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So moral of the story is never
yes
turn down
life.
coke from the ShamWow guy. Yeah.
Ever.
Okay. All right. We said the same
probably
thing.
Crystal meth. It's probably crystal meth. But
yeah.
And then you're just like, never had Red Bull, but I had a Red Bull, and I really like Red Bull. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Boys, guess what? P's and C's report on Monday, boy. Baseball.
Oh boy.
It's here.
Back.
You guys getting
It's here.
excited?
Back.
I'm excited to buy the show because Ellie's on it.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys see what else is going to be on MLB The Show?
Yes.
Metal bats?
Tell us about
fucking
it,
college World Series.
Yeah, I don't know how much it's going to be involved as much as it is like
it's the road
kind
to
of what
glory.
Madden did a few years ago to get around.
Doesn't matter. The best thing
I know.
we all
I think
know
it's
the
gonna be
best
like-
part about the college baseball game was that all of the bats and cleats and gloves were legitimate to real ones. And you're like, all right, what are these colleges using? And I want to relive that.
The best part about the college game was like, I honestly, college baseball was,
dude.
the soundtrack. Well,
that
soundtrack
soundtrack was elite.
That was one of my favorite sports games of all time. Was college baseball 2006 or something like that, or I don't know what it was.
Because it was right off the heel. Because MVP baseball 05, I
had it on
GameCube. Was the best. Yeah, best baseball game ever.
Yeah,
it was so much fun.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. NHL 03 is also really high on the ranking for me for soundtracks to a game.
Madden
Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah,
There's
Queens of the Stone Age had 2
area,
songs on there. Oof. No,
that used to be like my original curator.
What's that?
Like Madden, NHL, whatever. Like just like the soundtrack.
You would like learn about songs.
You know, yeah. Like it was a good like launch point. It was like pre-Pandora, pre-Spotify.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was always super.
Todd, I have a serious question for you.
Sure.
Aaron, you may not be privy to this, but for those of you out there listening not in the greater Cincinnati area or have ties to it, we have a chain in that beautiful city called Skyline. Skyline is Cincinnati chili. It's very heavy cinnamon. It's a sweet chili. It's more of a meat sauce than a chili. Well, they have that. You might be familiar with the lore that surrounds Skyline chili.
I'm aware of it.
We also have a ice cream chain called Grater's. Grater's is delicious. It's not debatable. Everyone that goes to Grater's likes Grater's. It's fantastic. They did a combo, boys. There is a Skyline chili flavored ice cream with bits of oyster crackers, which Skyline is known for, in the ice cream. Todd, have you had it?
I have not. So Mary cannot have any sweets until this baby comes out. So I'm holding on for her so we can try it together.
You're a beautiful.
She has not. She doesn't ask me for a lot. She was like, "Please wait until we can try this together. I don't want to watch you eat it and then be envious or disappointed." Right? Like she doesn't want to see the face happen. She wants to do that thing together.
You want to experience that together. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
I have
like caving in though, and like.
Do you know what the best thing in the world would be? Is if while she's pushing your second child out, you just start eating it right in her face, like.
You just have like you're going, keep going, baby, keep going.
Yeah. I just slowly tuck a cooler under her bed and just pull it out and just.
All right.
You got it, honey. I'm so proud of you.
That reminds me of a story from when I was in high school. I had went to see every Lord of the Rings movie with my grandpa in theaters. So we saw Fellowship of the Ring, we saw the Two Towers, and then Return of the King came out, and it would have been like 3. We're going on 4 weeks now, and Grandpa was just he got tied up with shit, whatever. Chilling with my boy Harry Sack. We were chilling, went to the movie theater. He's like, dude, let's just go see it. You can see it twice. And I went and saw it without my grandpa. That reminded me, like I snuck in there, so I saw it twice. But you holding true to your commitment to Mary reminded me of the time when I absolutely was like, yeah, I can't wait any longer, dude. I gotta go.
Now, still haunts you to this day.
It does. To my defense, one of the greatest films ever made. You can't even, like, Return of the King is
a cinematic masterpiece.
It's beautiful for Frodo. Like, you can't even beat it, man. You can't beat it. But you guys ever had a little scenario like that, or am I just a massive piece of shit?
No, dude, we've all done it. Everybody's done it. There's no way.
Yeah.
Well, also like 4 weeks. Come on, Gramps. Like,
yeah, dude, let's fucking go. You're retired, dude. You don't have any excuses here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just like
tied up with. He's like, I got a business trip over in a
fucking bridge.
yeah. Sorry, bingo's every Friday, Corey. I can't make time for you. Let's just reroute this thing. No, I think we've all been a part of something where you recognize in the also your brain's you're 25 by the time you're like really thinking cognitively and coming to a reasonable solution. When you're 17, you're like, yeah, I'll go do this thing. Nobody will know. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. And then you can and Grandpa is just gullible enough because you're the apple of his eye. And he doesn't even notice. He doesn't even notice that Corey's just looking up at the ceiling.
Dude, I have so many fucked up stories though. Like, all right, my 21st birthday, he picks me up. The night before, I got absolutely blasted. Picks me up at 8:30 for a round of golf. Shows up with McDonald's. So this motherfucker knew. He had
he knew.
I eat half a hash brown. Like, that's all I can get down.
He's like, it was one of those nights.
Yeah. Yeah. The other one is like, there's something going on with my car, and he picked me up from some podunk bar. Todd, you may know the town, Okeana. He picks me up. He picks me up from some bar in Okeana, and I'm just in there ripping fucking darts. And I get in the car, and him and my grandma, Corey, were you smoking in there? No, a lot of people inside. A lot of people were. Yeah. Not me though. It's like, oh man, you smell like an ashtray. I was like, I know, it's crazy, right? Just keep going down the road 5 minutes later.
It specifically peaks when you talk. It is very weird.
Are you sure you weren't smoking?
Dude, that's that I think as a young adult, that was the worst thing that got found out. Was like, you're like, my mom and dad finding out I'm smoking cigarettes, right? And like thinking that me hiding, I remember the day I got caught. I had this fucking stupid American Eagle drawstring bag.
My mom just smoked. It was like hiding white in snow. It was never a problem.
Do you guys remember Camel Turkish Royals?
Oh,
it smells normal in here. Yeah. Royals hit.
Yeah, I had like 2 packs of those.
Those are the ones you bought on payday. Those are the ones you bought on payday.
Yeah. Otherwise, you were smoking L&M Turkish blends. Those were
the 2 ones, dude. Good. I didn't fuck around with the golds.
Yeah, 27s were the best.
Golds were like the 27s, but Royals were just like, they were harsh, but they were just so much more flavorful than like a red.
Yeah, dude, I had a kick for 2 years where I smoked Newport full flavors, non-menthol. They were $4.75 a pack, and I was like, I'll give them a shot, and I was just hooked for like 2 years. Like, these things are incredible. How can I ever stop?
I'm actually like deep down grateful that they're like, no, you can't just sell loose cigarettes, because I'd be it's like I got 50 cents, dude. Just
let me get one. Let me get one.
God.
Hey, give me 4 for $1. Dude,
Fucking Lucy's.
We were like cleaning out. We have like a junk drawer, and also, if you don't have kids yet, we have a junk cabinet as well that just extends above the junk drawer. We were cleaning out this junk cabinet the other day. It was like a month ago. She found like a pack of cigarettes that was like had like 12 in them still from Cabo that we went to 4 years ago, and I was like, just save them. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, they're still good.
You never know.
They don't go bad.
They don't go bad. They just dry out. It's fine.
Oh, dude.
That was through those in about 4 inhales, but it's gonna be
hell yeah.
Yeah. Hit it like 3 times. Like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there was nothing better than a sneaky cigarette. Nothing better.
I remember my first one.
Me too.
Yep.
I was 15.
I was out on the loading dock of Founders my freshman year of college.
Wow, you waited till college.
That was your first dart?
Yeah, first cig.
Damn.
Yep. Yeah, my buddy's like, "Hey, you want one of these?" I was like, "Kinda." Yeah, and it was a 27, and from then I was smitten. It was the best. It's the best cigarette I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a Marlboro Red in somebody's basement that I will not name, because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But
Cigs inside, dude.
Dude, just a fun. We used to dude. Inside cigs.
There's only one person whose name you wouldn't say, Todd.
Inside, it wasn't Bobby. I don't want to get.
Okay.
That's immediately
inside.
I was like,
inside
it's for sure,
cigs,
Bobby.
Cottonmouth Kings playing in the DVD player.
Jesus Christ, dude.
In the DVD player.
Rip was 2005. Dude.
I know. I love that though. You're like,
player.
It's also a CD player, dude.
Yeah. Ripping
track
ripping
two.
blunts. Yeah. God, that's so funny. And just waking up the next morning violently hungover, and my mom picking me up and her being like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah. My dad's punishment for me all the time would be like, "Hey, go stain the deck." And it would be like August. It's like, go stain the deck. And he would just watch me violently vomit over the side of the deck as I'm
awesome.
lacquering it up. Yeah, he always knew. My mom was a little.
I'm just allergic to that lacquer.
Yeah, he always knew. He always knew. Oh shit!
All right, we got a couple of things I want to touch on before we get to the Super Bowl too. We have a request from my boy Jeff to discuss a couple of major free agents. Miles Garrett.
Ain't nobody a fucking free agent.
Or free agent. Sorry, not free agent. Trade requests. Yeah. Well, one was a request, and one is like, yeah, we're shopping them.
Yeah. Hey, he's available. Put him on Facebook Market.
Miles Garrett
is available.
I don't think Miles Garrett's going anywhere personally.
I don't either, but we'll wait and see.
Are we getting a Carson Palmer situation here?
Yes.
It's very odd to the trade request and then like just showing up on Radio Row like, y'all go the Commanders.
Well, no, but he was a nominee for
I understand.
Defensive Player of the Year.
I
mean, Joe Burrow did it too because he was a nominee for Comeback Player of the Year and MVP.
Fuck yeah, he did.
No, I'm talking about going on.
He did so good
and acting like you're a free agent. That's why I gave umbrage to what you were like. We got some free agent. I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I said free agent. Yeah, but like, why? If you're the Browns, walk me through it. Like, if you're the Browns, why would you not trade? Like, he wants to be traded. You're not in a position to win right now. He is your best asset. Trade him and try and rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious answer is he's the best player on your team, and he's probably the best defender in your franchise's history.
I would agree with that 100%.
And I understand there's oftentimes I would say emotions run hot, especially after the end of the season. I don't know what this team is going to look like post draft, post free agency, post where we are before training camp, and I think we've seen crazier things happen in the NFL more than this. You see teams go from worst to first all the time. Also, yeah, they did not have a good season. They were in the playoffs the year before that. They won 11 games the year before. Like, I don't think this roster is as bad as people think. I just think the obvious glaring hole, which is the biggest important position in football, is quarterback. And even looking from the outside in, there's not a very obvious choice there that makes them ultimately now flipping the switch to being a contender. But I think you're also, the Browns are at a weird point right now where the fans have stuck through a lot, and being close to the city and hearing fans, man, there's a lot of people that are like, I am really, really getting sick of this shit.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what the deal is, but we'll see how this shakes out.
The point that I'm getting at, like, if I put GM hat on, like, there are teams that have really good players that could be traded but they're just a couple of pieces away that they missed the playoff. Even teams that missed the playoffs, but they're just a couple of pieces away, or like. I feel like, and maybe quarterback equals more pieces, because like your defense is good, like you talked about. Your defense is good. You have glaring issues on the offensive line, and obviously at the quarterback position. The wide receiver room, I think, needs some development long term. I think that is a fair thing to say. Am I?
Yeah,
there's no long-term
Judy
solution.
was a pretty pleasant surprise this year.
I would agree.
And,
but like Amari Cooper is not the future of your franchise in that room.
No, I know.
He's 30 years old.
I'd be curious to see.
Wait, didn't you trade him? No, you didn't. Did you trade him?
Cooper, yeah, we traded for a third.
Yeah, that's right.
He just didn't really do anything with the Bills. Cedric Tillman was actually playing really well until he basically was like out the last 5 weeks. But I'm not. That's probably not enough to stop the press.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't like with such a question mark at the quarterback position, and if you're gonna go get a new franchise quarterback this year in the draft, which you might, right? I think that's the plan.
If it's Cam Ward, I'm all for it. Outside of that, there's no.
My head is just like, you could get a lot of draft capital with Myles Garrett, but you could also do that next year, right? You could also
Yeah, I don't know what kind of route they're going to go. I mean, ultimately, there's no reason to hurry on something like this. The Browns can slow walk it. I think they should slow walk it. And also, if it gets to the point where it's like, yeah, when you talk about a team like I do think that the Commanders are interesting.
Yeah.
Because we obviously saw what they did this year. And
sure,
everyone's going to talk about the Lions. Everyone's going to talk about the Bills. The difference is the Commanders are obviously right there by proving being in the last 4 teams this year and have that elite rookie quarterback, right? So that contract where it's like, this is when you go all in on a player like Myles Garrett, where it's like, take our fucking next 3 first-round picks because they're going to all be 25 and up. Yeah. So depending on who their trade partner is, and 3, I think, is a little outrageous. I think 2 at best is probably what you're looking at. Myles Garrett.
You're looking at a Khalil Mack-esque trade.
I think so,
That's
too.
what I was thinking, too. This feels like a Khalil Mack situation again, right? We went through this a few years ago.
I'd be a little disappointed, obviously, just because of my personal attachment to Myles Garrett. But there's also, like, I'm a little frustrated with him in general because, my guy, you were part of the reported reason why Baker's out the door.
Really?
You are, you were at the press conference when Deshaun Watson was brought onto the team.
Yeah.
You called him a model citizen. You called our fans out for booing him. Like, hello, sir. Hello.
I think he just wants to win, man.
I do too.
And I think what he had said, at least, and I'm just taking this is only one person's perspective. He had said that he had conversations with the front office about what the future of the Browns looks like. When is a realistic expectation to when we're going to be able to compete for a Super Bowl? And I don't think that aligned with his trajectory of when he plans to retire.
No, he's probably got about one more major contract left. Yeah. No, and I get it. And the obvious parallel and comparison, unfortunately, is Joe Thomas, right? Like Joe Thomas was a good soldier. He was at the top of his game forever, and at an even less sexy position where even on a bad team, you can be like, oh, that guy's obviously really good. Yeah. Like if you're just a casual NFL fan, it's kind of hard to tune in and be like, damn, that left. But like he really did like pop even just but no. It sucks, man. It's really unfortunate, but also at the same time, if you look at it as an opportunity to restock the cupboard, there is some validity to it. But if you're Andrew Berry and you're Kevin Stefanski, you don't know whether you're going to be here the year after that. So what motivation do you have to want to move on from that? So I think Miles is probably looking for a little bit of leverage. I think the only way this amends itself is it comes with an extension, which might just be the leverage.
I hear what you're saying though, right? Because if there's another down year, they're both, they're both at the door. So why are you gonna trade your franchise player for a couple of draft picks when you don't get to stick around and see the fruits of your labor?
Which is crazy because Kevin Stefanski he's
such a good coach.
He has clearly demonstrated that he is above any record that has been delivered upon this franchise over the last 4 years. Like he has dealt with so much bullshit on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That that dude is I think he should be. I don't know if obviously the money and the control issue makes this not the case. He would, if I had to pick, he would be less on the hot seat than Andrew Berry, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. Andrew Berry has drafted one Pro Bowler since he's been here.
Denzel Ward?
No, that was Dorsey. It was
wow.
I think it might be Newsome.
That's crazy.
I'd have to think. I read that somewhere very, very recently.
That's wild.
You've had good players, but it's probably a little loaded because like how much do we really value the Pro Bowl is like as opposed to like other sports like all
that's fair.
But like still like it
but
it's
also
not
like drafting Pro Bowlers, like do most GMs get to benefit in the spoils of drafting Pro Bowlers?
Sometimes it takes some time for those.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, it's a good point. But he's been here for what 4 or 5 years, and you can kind of escape a little bit of criticism if you buy into the Deshaun Watson was Jimmy Haslam. Was call right because obviously it's hard to judge a GM when you don't give him firsts, hell, some seconds.
Yeah.
Your draft is starting on the second day for the last 3 years. That's a pretty tough uphill game to climb, and they've still been rather competitive, I would say. I think this last year was so incredibly bad. Like it was a shit hit the fan type of year. So I get it, but like let's also not forget, and the player is not to the same level by any means, but like Njoku did this exact same thing. Like he was like, Njoku requested a trade 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, exactly. Not as big of a deal, but still was about as vocal. Kind of let time go, let cooler heads prevail, and here we are. He gets an extension. So Myles Garrett's don't grow on trees. So the key thing I keep seeing is everyone's like, well, we're at 2. We can take Abdul Carter, and I'm like, well, it's the Family Guy. What's in the box? It could even be a boat. You're like, we have Myles Garrett. I don't care what's in the fucking box.
Yeah.
So let's. I get it. Like I do. Don't get me wrong. Even for like the pro Brown side, I do see the validity to like. All right, we need draft capital.
Reset.
Like,
yeah,
it's the same fucking story, dude. I'm frankly, I'm just sick of it. But I think Cam Ward can be a good quarterback. I'm not convinced that he's like a franchise quarterback by any means, but like, if you tell me Cam Ward can come in and be second half of career Geno Smith or better, I think might be reasonable. I don't know. Not
So you think
really
that's
sure here. So
you think
So-
that's Cam Ward's ceiling is Geno Smith? Is that
no,
what
I
you're
don't think
saying?
it's his ceiling. I think that's kind of like I think that's kind of like who he is. I think that's the kind of quarterback he's going to be.
It's an accurate passer.
I think he's an accurate quarterback. I think he's got the arm talent for sure. He just
Might
doesn't have
be
the.
one of the calmest quarterbacks I've ever seen in the pocket.
It's
Yeah.
tough because like I'm obviously not grinding tape. I'm watching highlights, right? Like you can piece together highlight films on anybody, and you can make anybody look good. I'm not sitting here watching, 2nd and 2 against Vanderbilt 2 years ago or something like that, right? So I like what I'm seeing. I know he's got a little bit of an unorthodox arm angle, but I really do think I do really think he's got. I think he's got the juice. I really do. But again, we're talking about where would he have been if he was in last year's draft class? Is he taken before or after Penix?
Before.
You think so?
Before.
Okay. So I kind of
Yeah.
think that's the line. I think he's after Penix before JJ. Or no, exactly. So
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
I watched him absolutely destroy Florida, and he looked like he was doing warm-up drills in the pocket. Like it was.
It's very similar to what and please don't take this as like a parallel, but like it's very similar to watching like LeBron play basketball when he plays quarterback at the collegiate level, where everything seems very slow to him and he's in control of every moment.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about Cam Ward is that the biggest argument against him is that he is too aggressive at times. Well, going into Miami, the whole thing was like, well, his 2 years at Washington State, he was just too aggressive. He was trying to force the ball. Last year, he basically did anything he wanted at any time against any defense. And his biggest crux was that Miami's gave up 40 points a game and he had to score 45. He was doing everything at will. I think I guess my question to you, Aaron, is like you're sitting at number 2, right? Are you at what point does Cleveland say like, hey, this thing's available? Because I don't think Tennessee takes a quarterback at 1. Yeah.
If Tennessee takes Ward, I think you trade back if you can. I actually would say on my big board, trade down is probably number 1. I think there's a lot of, for a team that again hasn't been drafting in the first round the last 3 years, the conventional wisdom says stay there, take the best player you can. I actually think if you can if you can make a trade with the Giants or make a trade with the Raiders where they want Shedeur or something like that, I would love that. Like that's in my opinion, the best case scenario is Titans take Ward and then you get to trade down.
Right.
And then maybe in the second round you get like a guy like Dart or was it Miller? I'm not really excited about
sneaky Kyle McCord in the second round, fellas. That's
you think so?
That's going to end up happening. Yeah, I do. I mean, if you guys followed any of like the Shrine
Kyle
Bowl
McCord,
shit
or you
at
mean
all,
Will Howard?
No, I mean Kyle McCord.
Really?
Yeah. If you follow anything from like the Shrine Bowl,
well, he was at Ohio State. He was the guy who transferred from Ohio State.
Right.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But you look at him like if you're talking the analytics of football and looking at what makes a quarterback really good at the next level, everything that he does, the quality of spiral, the miles per hour out of his hand, ball accuracy, angle on a deep ball, like everything that he does is technically the best in this class. But the thing is that Kyle McCord also is capable of throwing 5 interceptions in a game.
You know what immediately jumped to my mind, Todd, and you'll appreciate this from a name is like Jake Locker. Or I'm like, yeah, he's all technically proficient. Everything looks really good. What an athlete. Wow, what a spiral. This guy looks great in shorts. But then you watch the games and you're like, fuck.
We're watching it right now. Will Levis is the same example of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're seeing it happen in real time with a guy where everybody beats analytics to the death, and next thing you know, the guy gets in a game and is a meme for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So, I just people buy into that shit, and McCord had such a good year in terms of winning close football games, making really big throws, that all these like kind of, all these guys around football that are on social media are just constantly like, we need to be taking, we need to keep an eye on this guy. We need to see what's going on. And now, GMs start trickling again of like, yeah, Kyle McCord could potentially be a first round pick for some teams. It's like
There's always
So-
that guy who just through draft season, quarterback is such an important position. He could be the guy. I think that's a fair point.
A lot of the talk that people wanted us to talk about was Myles Garrett, Cooper Kupp, Detroit being like a landing spot for one of those guys. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think for Myles Garrett specifically, I think the Browns would be more enticed trading him elsewhere. Nothing against Detroit, but you want the volatility of this pick can potentially fall in the top 10.
Yeah.
Right. If you're getting first round picks, the Lions are not that team. They'll sleepwalk with this roster for the next 3 years to 8-9 wins unless something.
I think that's why Chicago keeps popping up in this Myles Garrett.
That was the first team that came to mind. That was the first team that came to mind.
Like
in my
I
head,
oddly would rather trade him to Washington just because of this. We've compared we compared Daniels to Stroud a lot this year. Like I'm one of the things I'm going to be looking at next year is how high is that Commanders line from the wins for the season? Because I think that'd probably be a sneaky good under bet.
I do not see Jaden Daniels approaching this offseason in the same way CJ Stroud did.
That's a really fair point.
In terms of like being
the man,
so present,
maximizing his brand.
Yeah, exactly. Jaden Daniels does not seem like that guy.
That's a really good.
That's not his character. It just doesn't strike me as that's any fiber of his being as a guy that needs to be photographed at the all white party or getting on shows.
Taking Amber Rose away from a softball game.
Didn't his mom come out saying something like he doesn't date no girls?
Yeah.
Like he's just focused on football. Like,
that's awesome.
Mama.
The other thing that I'm seeing out there is that there have been talks between there have been multiple GMs around the NFL that have essentially said Cooper Kupp is going to be a Detroit Lion. Get him back with Jared Goff.
I don't like it.
I don't either. I think it's stupid. It makes no sense to me. Your offense is fine.
It doesn't make the that's the focal point of the franchise right now. It's not like they go from scoring 48 to 56 with him.
And that contract.
And now you're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'd have to
take contract's bogus.
Well, I got to take another look at it because when you trade, that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I don't think Myles is going to get traded because half of his deal is signing bonus, right? So that money is gone. So you're allowed to spread that over the cap for his length of his deal. But if you trade him, that money all becomes due because he's no longer on your team. So whatever the salary is what you're trading. So like Myles is like $9 million. Like that's very easy to trade for, which is why I think if he is going to get traded, that's why I don't think 3 is outrageous because the team that's actually getting him isn't really paying him, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of his contract was deferred too, wasn't it? It keeps getting pushed back.
Yeah, so I'd have to take a look here. In fact, if you guys don't mind, I'll look at Sport Track real quick.
Oh, by all means.
The best website.
Utilize your resources. Yeah, I don't know. Cooper Kupp doesn't make sense to me going to Detroit. And I don't know where that fits in.
I don't get it either.
They already have plenty of I don't think their wide receiver group is bad.
No. Tim Patrick was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, like he did what he needed to do to survive in the NFL for another year.
He's got himself another 5 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So 12
played phenomenally.
12.5 and 14.8 for Cooper, which for a wide receiver is not nothing, especially when you're now going to be paying.
That's not bad though.
It's not bad, but I don't know how much I trust. Like Myles Garrett's been
stay on the field,
right?
Yeah.
Um, I don't really know how much I trust Cooper Cup to stay on the field. Not to mention, like, one of the things that I think really makes the Lions offense really unique is you have two different styles of running backs. You have like the prototypical opposite kind of receivers. You have Jamison Williams who can spread the top of the defense, and then you basically have Amon-Ra St. Brown who is a better Cooper Cup. He's a route running technician, and
Then you
quite
have Sam
frankly, he's
Laporta.
better than. And then you have just a great athletic tight end as well.
And then you have your Robert Woods in Tim Patrick.
And like you said, Corey, I don't see how that makes them better against what was their issue last year, which was a lot of it was health. I truly believe that the Lions, just by happenstance and luck, should have a better season next year because it's rare to lose that many players.
By better season, you mean more postseason success?
I mean luck. Strictly luck.
Like not hurt as bad.
Injury.
They were hurt. They were hurt really bad the year prior too.
And I don't know if it's that same thing kind of happened in Cleveland the last 2 years, where I'm like, at what point do you have to look at the training staff? So I don't know enough to really go down that road to really pick apart like this. Like I barely stretch myself. But I don't know. Their problems are obviously, if you're going to fill some holes, I think you need to do so on defense. Honestly, the biggest thing for the Lions here is the brain drain. You lose your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator. It's going to be interesting to see, how they restock it. And then, Corey, like you were talking about from it on Cleveland side for like the hot seat. Could you imagine if like the Browns let Stefanski go? Like the Lions immediately would make him the highest paid offensive coordinator. Like what, like an amazing like combo that would be. Like put him under Dan Campbell. You know what I mean? Like, or he might be able to get a head coaching job too because he's a 2-time coach of the year. But like, I don't know, man. There's the offseason hasn't even started, and I can already tell this is going to be a wild one.
It's speaking of wild, it's probably the biggest offseason in the history of the Cincinnati Bengals this offseason, with major deals to be done. Obviously, talking about Jamar Chase needing an extension, T. Higgins being a free agent, Trey Hendrickson coming up on the last year of his deal, wanting an extension, Mike Gesicki. So all of these guys, deservedly so, get paid. Joe Burrow doing his part, being on pretty much every single major broadcast that was available and saying, we have the cap to get it done. We all want to get it done. Let's get it done. Is basically the message that Joe Burrow delivered to First Take, Get Up, whatever the FS1 is, K Adams, the Dan Patrick Show, go on. Joe Burrow's on there saying like, I'll restructure 100%.
The only problem is I think Mike Brown gets all his news from Hannity, so he probably didn't.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too because
I don't disagree.
I was talking about this today at work, and the point that I made was this is the first Bengal that has the platform and has the ability to get on TV and be like,
and put pressure,
we're gonna do this, let's do it, because really before this there was only one guy that, since at least in the last 20 years, that had the ability to go out and be outspoken like this and say things, and it was Ocho, and social media wasn't what it is now.
And also he was a clown, like at least the perception was. I'm not saying he is, but like
he's
like that's Ocho,
he's just being Ocho,
running his mouth, right? When Joe Burrow gets on these, when he's on this platform and he's having these conversations, he's very stoic and it's calculated, and it's even the cadence of how he answers questions. Everything is done in a manner to where you're drawn into whatever he's saying. It's best case scenario for him to be able to get on this platform, because really before this he's not a big media guy. He's done a handful of interviews prior to this. We could probably count on less than two hands on how many interviews that he's done where he's talked about football, and he did everything that he needed to do to make Cincinnati's front office aware of like, hey, I know what I need, and I need to be involved.
Here's the
And-
reality of the situation. The Cincinnati Bengals can sign Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Trey Hendrickson, Mike Gesicki. They can do all of that and still have $60 million in cap space. All of those things can happen this offseason. At this point, you have identified that you cannot, like, you don't draft well. You don't replace talent very well. It doesn't happen. So when you do get it, you should probably prioritize keeping it, right?
Yeah.
That should be the draft should not be your priority because you're not picking one. You're not picking 5. Ideally, right? You're picking in the fucking late 20s, early 30s, right? Hopefully 32. That's where you're picking. So it's not a sure thing. Like Joe Burrow, duh, we're going to take Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase, duh, we're going to take him. T. Higgins, yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, in fairness, though, I don't think that Jamar Chase one was as duh at the time. There was a lot of backlash to that with the Sewell.
Yeah, I mean, Penei Sewell would be phenomenal.
But I'm saying, like, you know, you can take a little credit for that one. But like, yeah, I'm sure if I was a scout, I would have been like, hey, this guy's pretty fucking good.
Well, and like you got Joe Burrow, like he's
right,
like,
yeah. Exactly. I know, but I'm saying like it wasn't like I actually think you're selling it short a little bit revision wise, and to your like to the Bengals credit.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think Corey's also basing it off of historically for the last decade.
That's fine. I won't give you guys credit. That's fine.
But like, yeah, no, but like the main point is you have the ability to do it.
Right.
You can do it. Don't prioritize bullshit contracts for guys that are mid to below at their position in the league. Sign one of the top 5 edge rusher. Yes. Re-sign that motherfucker. Re-sign the best wide receiver in the league. Sign the best number 2 wide receiver in the league. Yes, re-sign those dudes. Like,
that should have been the Chase one, especially. That should have already been.
No, I knew that it wasn't going to happen. Like they would like he will get re-signed. He will get re-signed. Like, it will happen. Jamar Chase is going to be a Bengal. It's going to happen. T. Higgins, the further it goes, the more I think it's going to happen. The only one I'm not sure about is Trey and Gesicki. Those are the ones that
Gesicki is the one you keep mentioning where I'm like, I just think one of these is not like the other. Like that's a very
100%. 100%.
And I know you know that too. So I actually am curious to ask both Todd and Corey as Bengals fans. We know they can do it. We know they should do it. Will they do it? What's your confidence that they will? That all of those guys are brought back? You can take Gesicki out of it. I'm talking Chase, Higgins, Hendrickson.
4
out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at a 6. Maybe.
So average of 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably a little bit more pessimistic.
I can only imagine how. So I really wish we could somehow combine, because I have an owner in my town who's a fucking idiot. But he's got no problem spending the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He got that old money.
He's like, what's that spill over there? Just throw some hundreds on it.
That boy, them old boy. I tell you.
But what is interesting is, and I'm gonna try to. We don't have to move to the Super Bowl, but I kind of want to use this as an opportunity to transition to. And Corey, I kind of heard you talking about this before. I have a feeling a lot of people are upset about the Super Bowl. I think this was obviously everyone's, when we had the final 4 teams, this was everyone's last option.
Yeah.
I kind of look at Philadelphia, and outside of not really liking their fan base, it's really hard for me to sit here and be like, I fucking hate these guys, because Howie Roseman built this roster so fantastically. He's drafted so well. He's brought in.
He's Theo Epstein of the NFL.
He's made amazing trades with AJ Brown, buying low, bringing them in high. Saquon Barkley being the same thing. Oh, this historically great defense going on in Georgia. Let's draft some of those guys.
Yep.
Like, it's not fucking rocket science. And now I have to sit here and be like, fuck the Eagles.
No.
You know what
Aaron,
I mean? Like,
I said, Todd and I talked about this the last time we were on, and I said, I
Put up some resistance, other teams. Like it's not that hard.
I hate the Eagles fans. I really, really do not like Sirianni at all. I think he's a douchebag. I love the players on the Philadelphia Eagles. I love the players. I hate Patrick Mahomes. I tolerate Travis Kelce. Chiefs fans are okay. They're not bad. Chiefs fans aren't bad. On Twitter, whatever. The loud ones suck, but all of them do.
Kind of love Pagano's defense.
I
One of the best defensive coordinators
I know.
ever.
I kind of really enjoy watching him.
I hate Patrick Mahomes. Let me be very clear. I think he's a piece of shit. He's a crybaby, whatever. Bad sportsmanship. I love Andy Reid. He's the greatest coach of all time. He's better than Bill Belichick, in my opinion.
Okay.
I wholeheartedly believe
I mean,
that.
you're not going to get a ton of argument out of me.
I mean,
both of them needed the best quarterbacks
Eagles
ever to even be in the conversation.
Sure, but he did it with the Eagles, and he's doing it with the Chiefs. Like he has been. He might has he been in more Super Bowls than any other head coach?
I think he's barring, especially having, Patrick Mahomes tied to him basically until he doesn't want to anymore. He should outpace Belichick, I believe. I think he's actually
in Super Bowl appearances.
No, like playoff wins right now. I think they might even be close to tied.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. Go ahead. So like part of me is like, okay, I get that we've done this before. I get that everyone hates the Chiefs. I get that everyone, a lot of people don't like the Eagles. And I think a lot of that just has to do with the fan base. But like, I'm sorry, guys, objectively, I'm fucking really excited about this game between the lines. I really am. You have an Eagles team that put up 55 points the week prior. You have a team that went 15 wins and has the chance to be the first team to be a 3-time Super Bowl winner. We can talk about the ref stuff. We can talk about whatever we want to. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you guys want to guess? This could be fun.
I
got a top 10. Let's play the game. Play the game.
Top 10.
So let me give you the top. Let me give you the numbers. Number 1 is 31, and number 10. There are 2 tied for 9th at 12.
Okay, so Belichick and Reid.
Fun. Come on, play the game.
So
Belichick is 1 at 31.
And Reid.
I will. Yeah, Belichick is 1 at 31. Andy Reid is 2 at 27.
Okay,
who else?
I knew they were close.
What is the number again? It's playoff appearances or playoff wins?
Playoff wins. Belichick is number 1 at 31. Andy Reid is number 2 at 27. There are 2 tied for 9th. So those are the top 10.
Jimmy Johnson
at 12. Jimmy Johnson is not on the list.
Mike Shanahan.
Don Shula.
Mike Shanahan is not on the list. Don Shula at number 4 at 19 wins. So you've got 1, 2, and 4.
Lombardi
is not on the list.
I'm sorry. What's number 10? How many wins is number 10?
12.
So there are 2 tied at 9th, and it's 12 playoff wins. Think our childhood going into our teenage years. Think that.
What's it? What's the coach from the Ravens? Why can't I think of his name?
Bill Belichick.
Brian Billick.
Billick.
Brian Billick. Yeah.
He is not on the list.
All right, we gotta.
Come on, boys. You got this. You got this.
There's
only like 3. There's only like 3.
Is Gibbs on the list?
Gibbs is on the list. Joe Gibbs at 17. He is number 5. So you have 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Cowher?
Parcells?
Bill Cowher is on the list at number 9. He's one of the tied at 9 with 12. Yeah. So you have 1, 2, 4, 5, and 9.
On the list.
Parcells is not on the list. There's another guy. The other guy tied at 9 is like same era as
Dungy?
Bill Cowher. Dungy is not on the list.
Damn.
There is one other modern era coach, or like one
Sean
other
Payton?
active head coach. No, not Sean Payton.
Pete Carroll.
Not Pete Carroll.
I was almost gonna guess Carroll. Just because they had 2 Super Bowl runs.
He's a head coach last season.
Hold on.
You're gonna kick yourself.
Oh, is Coughlin on the list?
Tom Coughlin is the other number 9 at 12.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Jaguars,
So you need-
Giants.
There are 2 at 7 with 13. You need
Tomlin?
number 6.
No, fuck that.
No, they
No,
just don't
Tomlin's
win
not.
enough.
You need the 2 7s, the 6, and the 3. One retired pretty much when we were like getting into high school. One is an active head coach, and the other, and the other 2, I don't believe we ever saw coach.
Active head coach.
You're gonna kick yourself.
I know. I'm already kicking myself.
He's a head coach that's been in the league longer than you would think. You think he's younger than he is.
McVay. Is
No.
McVay already somehow in there? Okay.
He is not in there, no.
I might be spent here.
Oh, come on. You got this. He's in our division.
Harbaugh?
John Harbaugh.
Oh yeah, they do. They've made.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. Yeah, John Harbaugh, 13.
John Harbaugh.
Yeah,
okay.
he is tied at 7. There's another guy who you haven't guessed. He retired when I think we were getting into high school is when he retired. The guy that has the same amount of playoff wins as John Harbaugh at 13.
13 playoff wins. I mean, it couldn't be Martz.
And the other one at 6 with 16 that you don't have also coached the Steelers.
Oh, what's his fucking name? Who's the guy before Cowher?
Yeah, the guy before Cowher.
The other guy.
What's his name? What's his
What
name?
is his name?
Chuck Noll.
God. Chuck Noll.
Yeah, Chuck.
Yeah.
Noll. Is
Yeah.
it? It can't.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not, is it Jeff? Is it Jeff Fisher?
It's not Jeff Fisher. This guy at 7 is probably known for having one of the most successful coaching trees in the history of the NFL.
Oh, Todd, who's the guy with the 49ers?
He birthed a lot of the guys that went to the 49ers. I think he started at the 49ers as an offensive coordinator. I believe.
Holmgren.
Yes, there you go. Mike
Yeah,
Holmgren.
okay.
Mike Holmgren at 13. So we just need, I think, we've gotten them all. We just need number 3. Number 3 all time for playoff.
Is it like a
wins.
classic name?
When he was fired, it was insane. Like people were like, "What the fuck?" We weren't really like clicked on to the NFL at this point when he was fired. But when this guy lost his job, people were like, "What is going on?" And then this team went off to win multiple Super Bowls after this guy was fired. The Bear Bryant of the NFL.
I was like Mark Jackson with the Warriors. I'm just kidding.
Known for a hat.
You already said Lombardi. It's not. I mean, it's not Brown.
It's not Brown, but he's known for a hat. He always wore a hat on the sideline.
I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
He gave way. He gave way to America's team. Tom Landry.
Oh, Landry.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Tom Landry is at number 3 with
That
20.
Noel, like even though I know
playoff
him, I
wins.
just wouldn't have had it. Just
Yeah, Chuck Noll was probably the hardest on the list, in my opinion.
Well, only not when you said the only other Steelers guy you haven't named, and it's like, oh yeah, it's like again, just not in my lexicon.
That
to
guy.
Like, use that name very often. Right.
Tom Landry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but Andy Reid still needs. So if Andy Reid wins on Sunday, he will be 3 away from tying Bill Belichick in playoff wins in the NFL.
I've heard somebody make this point and I forgot who. So forget. I'm sure it was Bill Simmons because he's a fucking Patriots fan. But it is tough. Like the playoff wins is a tough thing when it's like you don't get credit for the bye. Like you actually play less games when you're good.
I think they should get rid of the bye.
I don't necessarily think so. I think you need to have a solid reward for winning the regular season.
You do home
Not
field.
one that more. And I actually think it's more valuable now with the extra wild card team because only one team gets the bye week on each side.
I don't think there should be one. Line it up. Brand new season. You get home field. When everybody has to play the same amount of games. Brand new season. You make the postseason, it's a brand new season. Fuck it. Let's fucking line it up. Let's go.
See, my only problem with that is I think you'd see a reverse of that for the regular season.
What do you mean?
I think you would see people rest 2 weeks before the end of the season.
No, but you want home field.
Yeah, but if you're like, do you?
I would.
Do you think every team? Do you think every team is going to view it that way? Like there are teams.
I think there's only 2 teams that wouldn't care about home field, and they're both in Los Angeles. Every other team wants to play at home. Every other team. If you ask them, do you want to play this game at home or away? All of them say at home. All of them.
Not when the other option is, do you want your guys to be healthy?
Okay. All right. Let's ask. Do you think the Lions would have preferred that they rest their guys in week 18 and then play, which they didn't need to, by the way. They didn't need to play their guys. But they would have had to play.
It's situationally dependent. Like I don't think there was
really fair enough. I think that there might be a situation where that happens. More often than not, though, people still want home field. I think
so. I think
87+% of the time, people will fight to have home field through the playoffs.
So you want another team to make the playoffs,
or one less?
No, it still wouldn't work that way though, because you would need 8 or 4.
Sure, let's go 8. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It's like a bye anyway.
I don't know. I didn't really need. No offense. I know you guys were coming along at the end of the season, but I didn't really need the Dolphins or Bengals in the playoffs this year.
No, sure. Bengals would have been better than the Broncos or the Steelers.
Yeah, but they earned it throughout the season.
Sure. My point is, you shouldn't get a bye. Doesn't matter. Doesn't make sense. Interesting fun factotum, by the way. Teams with a bye 0-10 against the spread in the last 20 years.
In the Super Bowl?
In the Super Bowl. 0-10 against the spread. 1-9 straight up.
The Chiefs would have been the win then, right?
Is that wild?
I
mean,
that's
crazy. That's crazy.
I still think I'd rather have the bye.
No. I don't think the bye hurts you. I don't think it hurts you. I really don't. Statistically, it does.
I will tell you that's
based on what I just said. Based on what I just said.
That is very interesting and goes obviously against.
That's crazy.
Conventional wisdom.
Yeah,
I'm kind of.
I don't think it really does hurt you. I don't think that's how. I don't think that's like shark attacks go up as ice cream sales increase. Like that. Like it's a correlation, not a causation.
More murders happen when ice cream. More ice cream is sold.
Yeah, same thing. Correlation, not causation. Exactly. Yeah,
right.
So
people have to go outside.
Yeah, guns fire better. I don't know. I just think a bye is fucking pussy shit, dude. Like let's fucking go. I've been listening to a lot of Arian Foster's podcast, macro dosing. And I'm Arian Foster is I'm him. Like I embody what I like, dude. I am of the church of Arian. Like this dude is
dude, cross race comp, nice.
This dude is
I like that I could tell it took Todd half a second and then loved it.
Like the way he talks about football. One, he's like, dude, let these boys let them celebrate whatever the fuck they want. Who gives a fuck? Also, I want football to be violent as fuck. Like this is a former player talking like, no, you should like people should just like hit the fuck out of each other. Like I hate all of this bullshit. He's like talking about how he's like, what do you mean? You're gonna tell me a quarterback is the greatest player of all time? That motherfucker doesn't hit anybody. What the fuck are you talking about? This is football. He's the best, dude. I love Aaron.
He's interesting.
He's awesome, man.
I have not listened to it.
You should check Aaron. It's probably the one Barstool podcast that you would actually like.
Yeah,
it's good.
Because they talk about sports and conspiracies. Like that's what they talk about.
That doesn't really sound like something.
But not together.
Oh, good. They separate.
Yeah.
I can turn it off.
So we're talking about all the. So what has there ever been a coach? So Belichick say he's successful with North Carolina.
He's successful with pussy, is what he is, dude. That guy is a fucking machine, dude.
So
are you kidding me?
Wins a national. Are there any coaches that have won a national championship and a Super Bowl?
Jimmy Johnson.
That's happened?
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
That's it. That's the end of the list.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Pete Carroll.
Yeah, Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll. Right.
Duh.
I was like, I knew
the
there
best
was
coach ever. The best coach ever. Pete Carroll.
US. That's right. USC.
I still think it's so funny how much Bobby hates him, even though
I don't get that at all. I don't get it.
But the part that makes it so funny to me is his head coach is just AFC Pete Carroll.
Maybe that's like why.
Like
think about it.
That's
had some success.
Oh my god. That's fucking
think about the parallel. Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious, Aaron. That's so funny.
It's too close to home, so he just panics and hates him.
Yeah.
Also, I think
exactly.
Carroll, Russie not coming back to the Steelers.
Not coming. Well, that you knew that was happening.
Did you?
Yeah, there's no way.
Okay, what's their solution at quarterback?
Justin Fields.
Really?
I think so.
In Pittsburgh?
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
They're gonna have to pick, and I think Fields is probably the choice. Yeah.
I think they've already pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Russell's not coming back.
Not coming back.
He's going to Las Vegas.
Yeah. If
that would make sense.
That would make it even sweeter to me is that Pittsburgh drafts Jalen Milroe in like the second round, because I think Jalen Milroe has no NFL skill set whatsoever, other than being super athletic.
You know,
I was to say he would if he's like, I'm going to play a different position.
What about Sam Darnold?
Like
Darnold?
Sam Darnold to Pittsburgh?
I could see it.
They're all.
Does that smell like Mitch Trubisky to you?
No.
Yes.
No. Yes. Because at least you saw. Okay. But Mitch Trubisky didn't do it. Listen, I know we have a sour taste in our mouth from
Mitch
Darnold.
Trubisky's
I understand
been in the divisional round of the playoffs.
I understand we're talking about MVP Mitch Trubisky. Okay. I get that. I understand we saw the slime. Okay. Big deal. Not the same, especially after last season.
I think they run it with Justin. I think they bring him back on 1 year, prove it, and they'll go and get somebody. Now, here's the thing I do worry about, though, is that Pittsburgh drafts a guy like Jackson Dart in the second round. Yeah. That's where I get concerned, right? Because if they go get a guy like Jackson Dart, they're like, oh, shit, they're prepared.
Jackson Dart doesn't – dude.
What do you mean?
What else on that team are you guys worried about, though? Like, I'm sorry, like Pickens is just
AB Jr.
back after next year.
Yeah, like that's never. Like, I just not worried about that at all.
Yeah,
I still think Najee Harris is just a Winnebago back there.
Well, he's gone. They didn't.
Yeah, right.
His 5th year. He's a free agent.
So then you're going to move on to Warren, who actually I like Warren.
You know what I'm worried about is that they
find a way.
10-7. Yeah, they go 10-7.
Gonna do, but that's the thing is they've done that for the last 13 years. Yeah,
8.
No, but specifically, like the last Ben year till now, where it's
last 2 Ben years till now.
Yeah, where they make the playoffs, and I go, yeah, can't wait to bet against him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. But where I come from, I legitimately, I'm sure you guys feel the same way. And I've said this to Bobby a million times, so I don't feel bad saying it. I just want to see him fail so bad.
Yeah.
I want to see everything blow up in Pittsburgh.
I want to see him go like like 6-11. That's what I want to see.
I'm okay with that.
No, I want just
I'm even.
No, I
I'm
don't want
even
him a
with-
top 3 pick. No, 6-11,
that's
please.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
6 and
I'm
11.
okay with 7-10. I need to see a losing record. I got to see it happen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
But the
They just
craziest
don't
thing
make-
too is like I don't even remember. Like I know they played the Ravens. Don't remember that game at all. All that season and scratching together
Yeah.
wins to make the playoffs. Don't even remember the game.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of it.
It's just fucking sexy.
I knew it was going to
wrestling.
happen, dude. I knew it was going to happen.
Sexy.
All right, we
wrestling.
might have pushed this off long enough, guys. We might have to talk about this game.
Yeah.
I don't think we had not much.
I'm
having fun.
I'm serious, guys. I'm very excited about the
The
actual
last
game.
one was good. I think it's going to be a
Oh,
good
yeah.
game.
It
I
was a
got
good game.
What is the over under on this? It was like 49.5. Let's start there. What do you think? Do you think we're going to get some explosion, or do you think it's going to be?
I think under.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a slow.
I think there will be
Less
more
than 20
rushing
points in the
touchdowns
first
than
half.
passing touchdowns in this game.
I think more rushing than passing. I mean, that would probably
I do.
stand to reason, especially with
Saquon.
the Eagles.
Little tushy-pushies.
Saquon's
got a
going to
nice
run
I
for
got a nice
180
sheet of
yards.
I
And
got a nice sheet of some fun prop bets here that are.
All right, let's. Jesus Christ,
They've-
that's a full piece of paper.
So one thing I've been doing for the last 3 years since gambling has been legal in Ohio, obviously, just like,
Dumping money to the Super Bowl.
Corey saying I showed up hungover, to have my first ever beer with my grandfather on my 21st birthday. Obviously, I waited until it was legal in Ohio to engage. So I'm just getting into this. But
Aaron told me about Bovada.
No, but what I like to do is I didn't like blow my wad on all the apps when it came live. I've been slow, like just finally signed up for Bet365 and I got some free money to just basically play with every Super Bowl. I got some fun ones. I can start with some, pretty normals and then get into the real obscures or I don't know if you guys
Let's go, run it out.
You're curious. All right. My biggest one that I'm gonna take, and I implore everybody to take, is Patrick Mahomes over rushing attempts. The line is sitting at 5.5. He went 11 2 weeks ago, or 11 last week, and then 7 the week before with Houston. Also, if you go look at all of the Eagles games in the last Super Bowl, and then of course the game last year. Mahomes likes to run the ball in the playoffs. He does not run the ball in the regular season, but in the playoffs, that guy knows that he's going to need to move. Obviously, Pacheco isn't the same, and Hunt doesn't really give you the same juice, although he can really give it to you inside the 20s. Patrick Mahomes over 5.5 rushing yards. I'm at 3 units on for this Super Bowl. This is my biggest slam dunk.
I like it.
Also, with the attempts, you don't have to worry about the yards.
Yeah.
If the Chiefs are in a game-winning situation, the kneel downs count.
Love it.
That's my layup. One of the other things that I really like, I do really like Kareem Hunt to score a touchdown. Part of the reason for that is on the opposite side of the ball, you have the tush push. The Chiefs don't do that here. Right. If Patrick Mahomes is going to score a rushing touchdown, it's going to be a natural scramble. If the Chiefs get within the 2 or the 1, they are going to hand that buddy off. And I think Kareem Hunt, especially last week, showed that he's got the juice. Pacheco is down. I'm on his under as well on the rushing yards. But I like him to just kind of catch a pass at over 3.5 receiving yards. I think that's a solid one. Worthy and Goddard have been big. I think Worthy has had cleared 5 receptions in like the last 6 or 7 games. He's finally starting to get involved. He seems to kind of be taking over where we saw Rashee Rice last year. He didn't really come along until, this time of year as well. I think Worthy's going to get involved, maybe even look to get a little bit of his rushing as well. I think the Chiefs in general, like they're going to get a little creative with how they're going to rush the ball. I'm also just going to take Hurts 2 touchdowns. They're going to tush push it. take everybody's fourth down conversions. Nobody punts anymore. Take under punts. Take there's prop bets of both teams converting fourth downs. The one I love the most: either team to convert a fourth down in their own territory. That's even on your own 47, right? Like probably like we gotta. My longest shot bet here is at like plus 1,000. I parlayed Chiefs to win by 1 or 6, between 1 and 6, and a 2-point conversion to successfully be completed in the game. Just those two is going to get you 1,000 odds. And then the biggest one, 7.5, or plus 750. Eagles to be leading at halftime, Chiefs to win.
Ooh.
There's nothing. The only thing
that's how the last Super Bowl ended up.
The only thing the only thing I'm like, I don't know, is the Jalen Hurts too. Other than that,
that's just like plus 650. I'm not like expecting it to cash.
Yeah,
I just like the value of it.
Yep.
Over Barkley's too.
Everything else makes sense.
I like Goddard a lot too. He's been like,
you can get Goddard's touchdown at plus 350.
Yeah, I think he's been Jalen Hurts' most valuable asset.
Here's what I'm going to do, boys.
Playoffs.
I'm going to put $100 down on tails, and then that's going to decide my live betting for the rest of the night. That's my favorite thing to do during the Super Bowl is live bet.
So you might be able to do that in Michigan. You can't in Ohio.
Live bet?
No, you can live bet, but you can't bet on like national anthem, coin toss.
You can't bet on coin toss?
No, it's got to be on the field.
What? It is on the field.
Well, yeah.
And play. And time clock has to be running for you to be able to bet.
Let me see. I think they're both like minus 120. Just throw down $100 on tails and just see what happens,
And then I got a couple weird ones, which just makes it fun while you're watching the game. A punt inside the 5-yard line at plus 250. Like, let me be all in on some fucking punts. You can bet that a field goal is going to hit the crossbar. There's nothing more fun than the entire party going nuts when that thing goes off. Like there's a lot of fun.
Are you having a party?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, what's the food, Aaron? Are you running it back?
Kind of a little bit, but just a little. Like last time we did. I mean, you gotta do Philly steaks, right? Like that's just a crowd pleaser. But we're doing traditional. But we're making them. We bought like a bunch of bake rolls and not bake. I'm sorry, like Costco had like mini French breads. You actually bake them. So we got like 10 of them. We're gonna make like little mini subs, and then we're running some pulled pork butt in the crock pot.
Love it.
King's Hawaiian rolls, of course.
Minus 105 each way. Great value. Minus 105 each way.
Yeah. What's that, Todd?
Is there anything better than like a fresh baked bread?
A little olive oil.
Yeah, like just
olive oil is better than bread.
You slut. That sounds so good.
Right?
I'm with you though. Just to go back on the. I know you said you're in on Goddard. I think that's one of my favorite anchor bets I have. Got a couple parlays with like 3-4 receptions. I'm waiting. I think I can probably play him now, but they wait to do like the bands. I'm gonna play his 50 to 59 and 60 to 69 yards. Usually you get like plus 600 odds. Big fan of that one. But yeah, dude, Goddard at plus 350 for a touchdown, I think is just like too good to pass up.
That feels like easy money.
That's been Hurts' number one target.
Boys, here we go. For the coin toss fans out there, which I am one. Last year was heads. It has been heads 3 out of the last 4 times. The only other time that was tails out of the last 4 Super Bowls. Kansas City versus Philadelphia.
All right, who is singing the national anthem this year? Do you guys know that?
I forgot his name.
I'll look it up.
People are sharp on the under. I guess he did the national anthem for, I think it was the NBA All-Star game a couple years. He's a New Orleans native, and I think it was when the
John Beste.
Yeah, it's French. That guy's
Beste, yeah. Huh?
But apparently he's pretty quick.
Lil Wayne on the national anthem. Is that what?
Lil
Oh
Wayne,
my
Lil
God.
Wayne will
Could you
not be at the
imagine
Super
how
Bowl.
long that would go?
Lil Wayne will not be at the Super Bowl
The
because of the
planes would be
Kendrick
able to
thing.
circle back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the Kendrick deal is. Yeah.
That's the
Are
other
we all
one.
in
What
consensus
song
that
is he coming out to?
Chris Stapleton had the best national anthem.
Of all time.
Yeah,
Whitney though.
Yeah, I was say Whitney Houston, guys.
I don't know, dude.
Dude,
I don't
Whitney.
I don't know.
They're both up there.
Chris
They're both in there.
Yeah,
Some recency bias. I think.
We can appreciate both.
Yeah, you can like both.
Yeah. Also, Whitney Houston might be the best female voice ever in the history of music.
Facts.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know where that there's an argument there, but
How are you guys watching the game?
I will be at home on my couch.
Yep.
With my wife, and I think my in-laws might come over, but people are like, do you want to come over to my house? I'm like, no, I don't. I have children. I have no intention of commuting at any point during the Super Bowl. Once the game starts, I'm not like, I'm not doing anything else. I'm not leaving. Going to the bathroom is a chore. I try and do it as quick as possible. Just take a quick, like if a commercial comes on that I've already seen, go to the bathroom, come back.
That poor couch cushion is just getting waterboarded with ass.
Ideally, I'm in my recliner, but yeah.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. No, it still applies. Aaron, you're wise. If a Super Bowl party is involved in your evening, you had better be hosting.
host it. Yeah.
So we got friends who do like 4th of July. I have a friend who every year does
You
like
are the Super Bowl.
Friendsgiving. We're the Super Bowl house, right? Where that's the one we grabbed. And Corey, you hit the nail on the fucking head.
Yeah, we somehow inherited the 4th of July thing, which I would love to be in your shoes, Aaron. Where people, because there's nothing.
February,
worse
it's cold, and I know where my ass wants to sit.
Right. Well, there's nothing worse than when like somebody that you want to spend time with is like, "Hey, you want to come watch the Super Bowl?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure, I'd like to spend time with you." But then also,
I'm gonna be at my house.
I also want to drink as many beers as I can at home, and like this year would be a great year for me to do it. Right, I have a pregnant wife. I would be able to go somewhere and do it.
Yeah, but you have children.
Also, I'm not gonna have them out that late.
Yeah,
we're working on 4th annual.
Yeah, you bring it to me. I don't want to go anywhere to watch the Super
Bowl. It helps
a couple
too.
Of times.
Yeah,
it's not for me.
It helps too, and I have my wife cooking because it's so good.
Also, people like generally. Also, Aaron, I've been to your house on a football Sunday. Great time.
Great time.
Great football fans. They get it. Those guys. Conley,
good setup.
Stokes,
Set up for it.
Great setup. You got the bar behind the couch. It's beautiful. You got darts if you want to play. I think you got the arcade. You got Golden Tee now. Yeah. So
nice.
I think a bathroom right there.
Yeah.
I think
dude bathroom. It's like it's a disgusting stall, but yeah.
It's there.
Fuck yeah.
But generally Super Bowl parties suck.
Yeah.
Generally, not yours, Aaron. Generally, they suck because let's turn on some music. Shut the fuck up, dude. Nope. I'm like the game. I'm here for the game. This is the sport that I have dedicated every Sunday to since September 1st to now. I dedicate September 1st to now to this sport. This is the best spectacle in all of sports, the Super Bowl. It is the number one spectacle. There's so much. I want to watch the game, and I want to hear the commentation. I want to hear the player.
It's on the Bows, baby.
I want to hear pads hitting. I want to hear all of the shit. I want to hear the fans roaring, all of it. I want to take it all in.
And we can get down. We can get down for the commercials. I'm not turning it down.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Fuck yeah.
Kendrick, hell yeah, baby.
Dude,
let's
halftime show is going to be sick, dude. Kendrick is going to be
I
amazing. It's going to
was
be
joking
amazing.
with Mary earlier today because she's huge Kendrick. Like she's always been a big Kendrick fan. but I'm just like, you're just Tim Robbins just doing the zip line.
You're
Like,
just here for the.
I was like,
for
you're just here for
Kendrick.
the halftime show. It's like, I feel like you're not really in it, you know?
Yeah, this is. I mean, the Super Bowl halftime shows, other than the weekend, have been pretty solid over the last few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The LA one was cool.
The LA one was sick. Yeah.
LA rappers, Eminem, and coming
Yeah.
out too was cool. 50
Yep.
Cent just losing blood.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we've had some.
Got
We've
yoked
had some
again
good.
just
Yeah, the
to be
weekend. You're
upside
right.
down.
The weekend was. Sorry, Tab. What was that?
I was just 50 Cent just got yoked again to be upside down.
Well, the weekends was weird. It was just weird.
It was bad.
Well, he's a
That
weird
was
guy.
bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah,
What was last?
sure.
Oh, Rihanna was last year. That was good.
She's amazing. She's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, she's a very
She's a
talented
pro.
artist.
She's a pro. That's what I want. I want a pro.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Kendrick
Real
will be
quick,
good.
then, you guys get to pick the halftime show next year. But I want like real answers.
Yeah.
Don't give me the band you're like. They have to be.
Yeah.
Mount Joy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah. Okay.
With the one guy just like, woo!
Yeah. The band. Ooh, halftime show next year. Who would I want? Or like who would it actually? I'll give you the funniest one possibly ever would be Kanye West.
Well, that's not happening.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious. Halftime show.
I got to be honest. I'm going to pat myself on the back here real quick. I was off Kanye West so early. Like Corey can attest to this in college where I was like, I don't like that guy. It was like buying Apple stock at $1.
Oh, Aaron, let me tell you that. Yeah, great analogy. Let me tell you this. Don't like Kanye. Love Kanye's music.
I know, but even I remember we were in college. I was like, I just can't get into the music because I think this guy's a piece of shit.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, but he is arguably one of the most talented.
He's a genius.
musicians.
He's a musical genius.
It's
so
it's
fucked
incredible.
up, dude.
It's incredible. Every album he puts out is unreal.
All right.
It's not that good.
Halftime show. It actually. All right. Anyway, halftime show.
You're gonna love this album.
Who would be?
I guess I'll do
Man.
two. You can do a living. You can do a dead.
A dead halftime show?
Whoa.
No, I'm saying like if it's like you can pick anybody ever.
Anybody ever? Can I like go take them back in time?
You can do whatever the hell you want, but
Yeah.
I want a living one too.
So they're alive, but I want to like get them back in their prime. Can I do that?
Okay, sure.
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. Okay, interesting.
Just fucking
Interesting.
Eddie Vedder hanging on top of fucking SoFi.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking lit as shit, dude. That would be insane.
I want the all gravel mouth singers. So you got like Eddie Vedder, and then
Yeah.
like
Lane
Darius Rucker
Staley.
from Hootie and the Blowfish, and then like
Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, Zeppelin is the obvious answer. That would be
Zeppelin would be
insane.
sick.
That would be insane. Rage. I mean, dude.
Well, yeah, but see, that doesn't work.
I know. Audio Slave would be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But no, it would be like me and you. Like that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I
Like,
just
can
don't
you
think
guys
from
calm
Rush
down, please?
As
Can
it
you
works.
calm
The
down?
obvious one is like the Beatles.
Yeah, the Beatles would be
But that's
crazy.
kind of boring. Paul McCartney's done it. Big one I would have said is, but we've done it, is Prince. And Prince's was great because it was like the only outdoor or it was the cold weather New York one. Todd, who you got?
So I'm thinking just from captured audience, what would be great?
That's exactly,
I think Foo Fighters would be a great halftime show.
I think Foo Fighters is a legit one. It's probably a little less likely now, which I'm like, oh, he cheated.
Yeah,
on his
sure.
wife.
Dave Grohl is.
Oh, you mean Dave Grohl fucks bitches? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking more of like,
Duh.
I'm putting everything aside of who I want.
If we're gonna talk about Kanye
West.
West musical genius, I'm sorry the Foo Fighters can play halftime show, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking like, bring Brad Noel out of
Fair.
his grave. Let Sublime play the halftime.
Fair.
That's where my head's at.
But even
right?
that
Like,
would only work in like a SoCal location.
Yeah, it
Well,
has to be-
next year it's
right.
at SoFi. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
so
Brad Noel's son is now the lead singer of Sublime. So let's call that.
I would check that
action,
out.
so.
I would check that out.
Yeah, I actually got to see them perform and I cried because he sounds just like his dad. It's pretty
I've
nice.
seen clips, or like I've seen
Better
you
than
know,
Rome.
Yeah, much
Yeah,
better
it
than
sounds
Rome.
it sounds really good.
Looks and sounds just like his dad. It was a very overwhelming experience for me as I was experiencing it. I
Yeah.
was not the only man in the room that was like
Visibly
weeping
affected.
as he starts singing, and everybody's like,
So,
all these people that don't understand the moment are like, what the fuck's going on?
so I have one answer that you might not expect me to say. Maybe.
No, I
but
think
we
I
don't
know
have to
who
go-
the most obvious one is.
Okay,
but
who's that?
it's Taylor
Taylor?
Swift.
Yeah, but it just doesn't.
I don't know.
I mean,
she's bigger.
she is bigger than the Super Bowl. Biggest of
That's
what?
what I'm like. Yeah.
Biggest of what?
So one that's it's.
J. Cole
I
would be
wish it happened
nasty,
years
dude.
ago. Dude, Daft Punk
That'd be sick.
would be incredible.
That would be sick.
Like with all the crazy shit they do in the crowd and like all that would have been
Odessa.
Yeah, something like that would have been cool. But like, I don't know. It's tough now. Like honestly, I think they kind of hit it. Like for the moment, I don't know that they could have picked anyone better than Kendrick.
Nail on the head.
You're
dude.
gonna have everybody in unison call Drake a pedophile.
A minor.
And I think to just rub salt in the wound, I wish I could find this prop bet that he over under the amount of times They Not Like Us comes on is over 1.5.
Yeah.
Wait.
So the first time he ever played that song live, he played it like 7 times.
Just in a row?
Not in a row. It just kept coming back.
Just coming back to the chorus
Right.
of it.
Because I just throw salt in the wound, and on the biggest stage ever, hit the over.
Man, I'm trying to think about like who would be.
It's tough now, right? Because
all I can imagine now is Aaron in his living room just going, "They not like us. They not like us. They not like us." And
did you
just doing
see
it
they
over and
came
over
out?
again.
It was at the American Heart Association was like, that song is 101 beats per minute, so we recommend singing it in your head when you're giving CPR. And I saw people like superimpose it to the Office scene where it's like, and it fits perfectly, of course, because it's the same beat or like tempo.
Funny.
Which is amazing. So you see
At
Kelly.
first, I was afraid. I was petrified.
So that fits perfectly. If I had to throw some out, I mean, like,
throw them out.
I mean, right now, of course, you could say like a Sabrina Carpenter or like a Billie Eilish or something like that.
Billie Eilish makes a lot of sense.
I think Eilish makes a lot of sense because part of it.
But she's so slow. Like she's so melodic and slow.
She's not. I mean. I think enough people, like even somebody like a Billie Eilish, has enough discography.
That's why The Weeknd didn't work. It's because it's melodic and slow.
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
Yeah.
But I also think part of the allure from the NFL side is you want somebody that like Rihanna was perfect.
Yeah.
Like you had so many people that were like, what football game? Like that's not the event. It's a Rihanna show that happens to have football around it. Because you want to get the odd or opposite side of the eyeballs on the screen.
100%. Yeah, it's hard to say anything bigger than Taylor Swift. Yeah, right. Harry Styles.
Yeah, I could see that. That's boring though.
I'm surprised we have not thrown out any country genre artist yet.
Yeah, but they don't do the Super Bowl. They don't do the Super Bowl.
No. So, but a guy like Luke Combs could very easily be the first one to do it.
Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Oh, boys.
Post.
Oh, exactly.
Is that what you're just gonna say?
I was just gonna say.
Oh my god, different white face tattoo guys.
But he does everything. He does rap.
He does
hip hop. He does country. He does pop. He does everything.
Not
Post
to
Malone
mention
would be a perfect halftime show.
Legitimate football fan too.
Yeah, huge Cowboys
like you
fan.
could really,
and so you don't have to worry about him having a conflict of interest because they won't be in the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to worry about Cowboys.
Yeah, you're fine. Also, big Bud Light guy.
Is that the worst head coach hiring of this offseason so far?
So that was one of the things I cited when I was like, I'm supposed to hate the Eagles and Howie Roseman because a team like the Cowboys are supposed to be competing in the same league as this fucking team.
Yeah.
Like we're playing two different sports here, guys. Yeah. I kind of like the Eagles.
That's just Jerry Jones going, his old man was a good coach. Let's give him a run. See what happens.
Well, you know who they're hiring next year?
Who?
Saban.
You think why? You think so? If it were to happen, that would be the fucking place. God, I love how I was like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Nah."
Yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
that checks.
I can see
Ugh.
that.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
would
because
hate
you think Jerry Jones wanted Belichick real bad, and now he's like, oh shit.
Alabama Jones. Do you guys not see that? Oh no. Okay, mine froze for a second.
Alabama Jones.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen on television. Like, I'm sorry, I thought this was a fun show. Oh man, Nick Saban.
I'd see Nick Saban, Lane Kiffin.
No. I don't think. Here's the thing: is Jerry Jones holds on to his coaches. I think this guy's gonna get Schottenheimer's gonna get some years.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
4-13.
yeah, I don't see it. Like we're out on Dak, right?
No,
Yeah, I'm out.
Oh,
I'm out.
okay.
no, not necessarily. I mean,
Well,
I'm
like 2
out.
years ago, he was an MVP candidate.
Last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think the Cowboys are going to be very good, but I also would implore you to look up and down at the quarterback list, and
Dak's
and
like 12. Yeah.
it gets thin pretty quick around 10.
Yeah. We've been saying that for a while. Has,
Yeah.
has that always been the case in the NFL though? Has it just are we just like now like linking into it? You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
it's
Like
mostly been the case. in the
yeah,
NFL.
I think that's fair.
I think we had a golden age, if you will,
Like mid
3 to 4
2000s.
years ago. Yeah, like
Yeah.
honestly, even 3 to 4 years ago, before Brady left. Honestly,
We had Brady,
Yeah.
Rodgers, Manning,
Russell
Breeze,
Wilson still
Rivers,
being at the top, while you
Wilson.
had guys like
Mahomes is coming
Allen,
up.
Hurts,
Allen, Lamar.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think we're back in the lull.
Where are we at on Jordan Love, boys?
Fine. I in the same way that we can't.
Great contract.
I'm not willing to say that I think Jaden Daniels is a top 5 quarterback yet until I see it for 2 years. In the same
Would you
way
rather have Jaden Daniels or Jordan
100%.
Love?
That's not even a question. I think they're entirely different levels of quarterback. But like,
Let's play the game. I think I can name 15 quarterbacks that you would rather have instead of Jordan Love.
Corey, name those 15 quarterbacks.
All right, let's do it. Patrick Mahomes,
Obviously,
Joe Burrow,
duh.
Josh Allen,
Mm-hmm.
Lamar.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts.
I'd keep going. Yeah. Yes.
Come on. Yes. Jaden Daniels.
We're not accounting for like contract and
No, just play.
play. Okay. What
Talent,
was the 6 you just said?
talent level, right?
Jaden
What was the
Daniels.
James Daniels. Yeah.
Jared Goff. What?
Okay.
I don't
Jared-
know. I like that's, but I'm saying like this is where the water starts to get.
What?
This is where the water. starts
Okay,
to get
Matt
murky.
Stafford.
Because put
Matt
Jordan Love in-
Stafford. Dude, are
How-
you
but-
serious?
What are we judging this on?
Bo Nix.
What? But here's the thing. Okay,
Their
We're
play
just-
last year. Their play last year is what
just
we're
last
judging.
year.
them.
Yeah, but that's different. Like I'm still gonna take the
Going into next
the
season.
youth of Jordan Love over maybe a season of Stafford.
Okay, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is better than
Yeah, I'll take
Jordan
Jared
Love.
Goff. I'll take Jared
Okay.
Goff.
All right, so I'm at 7. I'm at
Okay.
7 guys.
I'm just saying this is where it starts to get murky.
Let me work through the division here. CJ Stroud.
Would you?
I think I would.
I would.
So again, in the same way that I just said Love over Stafford, I probably have to take Stroud over Love just from age standpoint.
So are you giving me 8 or do I need to
I'll give you
find-
8.
Okay. Sam Darnold.
No.
Okay. Drake May.
No.
Did you give me Bo Nix?
I did not.
I mean, you also are you also are biased to prove a point that I can't name 15.
No. I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
Okay, Justin Herbert. Duh.
Yes, I would still take Herbert at this point, even though you could even be like,
Sure. Kyler.
No.
Wow.
Baker.
Yeah, Baker for sure. Baker. For sure, Baker. Yeah. Okay, so I'm at 10. That's 10. Dak.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, so I'm at 11.
I think that's probably the line.
Hold on.
No. I'm saying like Dak Love.
Oh, okay. Bryce Young.
No.
Okay. Kirk.
No.
Yeah, not after this season.
Or Penix.
No Bryce Young. No,
No,
Bryce Young, huh?
Yeah.
No,
I
I'm
think
not taking
even
Bryce
after-
Young.
Caleb.
If it wasn't
Caleb.
for Andy
Caleb.
Dalton's car
Caleb.
crash, this wouldn't even be a question.
Caleb.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Caleb Williams.
I'd take Caleb.
That's a good one.
I'd take Caleb. That's a
all right.
really good one.
Caleb Williams.
Bobby would hate you for that too.
But again, I'm factoring age.
Russell Wilson.
No.
No way.
I really think we're about it. Actually, there's one more I can think of.
Hold on. Gino?
No.
All right, so I went through the AFC North, AFC South, AFC East, AFC West, NFC West.
Missed one in the NFC West.
I did.
Yeah.
I said Stafford.
Yep.
Oh, you're taking Purdy?
Take Purdy over Love, yeah.
Okay, that's 13, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's 13.
Right. So you said a good line.
That's pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's pretty
That's what I'm
close.
saying. Like, yeah, I don't.
A lot of those guys, we don't feel comfortable that they can win a Super Bowl.
A lot of those guys, I also feel like, for the sake of the game, though,
Are close.
they're
close.
very, very close.
Are very fair enough. The line to where it's definite is like
6,
10 and a half. I think it's 10 and a half. 9 and a half. 9 and a half. We'll call it 9 and a half.
I even like, I'm not a huge Hurts guy. Like, I don't love Hurts.
I didn't. His rookie year, he has continuously got better.
Fair.
Every
You know
year
what?
he's
I
gotten
heard somebody compare him to basically, not modern day because it's still within our lifetime, but like prime Seahawks Russell Wilson, where it's like there's so many things he does well, but there's so many things where you're like, it's just not. It just doesn't look right, but it's working.
Yeah, because everybody around him is really, really good.
Exactly.
Yeah. That makes sense. And Russie got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I think Jalen Hurts can win a Super Bowl in Philadelphia.
Agreed.
I think it could happen this weekend.
All right. Well, let's talk about it.
What's your picks?
Chiefs win. Yeah, I have no reason to bet against the Chiefs. We will see. Honestly, I'll turn it off or at least walk away from the TV the moment the clock hits 0-0. I have no interest in watching them celebrate. I have no interest in
pre and post. I'm very interested in the game.
Yeah, I have no interest in hearing Patrick Mahomes talk. Every time he talks, he sucks, dude. He sucks. And it's not fatigue at this point. I don't think he's a good dude. I just don't think he's a good. And it all comes back to one situation, and it's the burden of being famous, maybe. But like the way he handled that loss to Josh Allen has completely changed his trajectory to me in history. It really has. It really has. And similarly to Lamar, Lamar lost a lot of respect for me when he walked off the field after he got spanked by the Bengals. He didn't go shake Joe Burrow's hand like that. That just tells me a lot about who you are as a person. If you lose, take a loss, take the L, and just move on with your fucking life. And Patrick Mahomes didn't do that, and he lost a lot of respect for me. I like Travis Kelce. I think he's a good dude. I think, like, genuinely, Travis Kelce is a good guy. I think Travis Kelce.
I think he's a fun idiot.
He's fun.
And,
I don't
and-
think
and, like,
I don't
and I
think
mean,
he's
I
an
don't mean that in a
idiot though.
condescending
He's not-
way.
Yeah. I think
What-
Travis Kelce is a more hallmark version of Gronkowski. Like he is a polished Rob Gronkowski.
He's playing it up a little bit.
He's prettier than Gronkowski, and he is more polished because he went to better school. Let's just be honest. Than Gronkowski, and came from a better state. All of those things. Midwest guy, kind of raised on those kind of principles and things like that. And yeah, I like Travis. I think he's a good dude. I really
Yeah,
do.
you can't not like him.
He's
That's
not.
the problem,
He
because-
doesn't do anything bad. I mean, him and his brother went and sat in Cincinnati with Joe Burrow and Orlando Brown, and like they had like these guys are all like cut from the same cloth. They're just dudes
Yeah.
that are good at football. Like they did their
Yeah.
Aaron. I don't know if you knew that over the offseason, they did their podcast in Cincinnati with and they had like Joe. They did it live to like a stadium with like Joe and Jamar
nice. Cool,
and
cool.
Orlando Brown was there and stuff.
I
Like,
mean, the
they're-
Kelseys are always at Cavs games and fucking like.
His
they grew
sister-in-law
up
is hot
together.
as shit. Like he's just, they're good. They're good people. You know what I mean? Good people.
Yeah, it's hard not to like him, man. That's
Jason
that's
Kelsey's the man. Like he's.
Yeah, he's
I want him to be my big brother. I want him to be my big brother. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing for both of them too. I mean, you kind of alluded to it, but like they're incredibly relatable.
Yeah.
But also for most people, it's like, well, you're never going to play in the NFL. But like, they both allow themselves to be true to their culture.
People.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when you listen to them, you feel like you're like, and you are invested into what they're saying because they're so genuine too. And like, yeah, it's hard not to like Travis Kelce.
I don't
Off
dislike
the field,
them.
he's a great guy. I hate watching him play, and I hate watching his demeanor on the field.
The only reason is because he's in that Chiefs uniform.
Right. But
I have a little bit of Kelce
right, because
fatigue.
Really?
That's
I
fair.
love
They're
Taylor though.
around
Like,
every-
I'm just gonna
You
come
what?
out and say it. I love Taylor. I love her. I love her.
Okay, that's fine.
She's
Yeah,
like
it's-
she's
Gonzo
great.
household,
Like
it's
she's
Swiftie
just
household.
she's
yeah.
she doesn't do anything. Like she's never done anything that I'm like, you're just like not a good. Like she's never made me other than like, oh, you want to get on her about the flying jets shit. Like what?
No,
You
don't
would
care.
too. Shut the fuck up.
Could
Like,
you imagine? Could you imagine the fucking traffic she would cause by flying fucking Delta?
Yeah. Also, if you had a private jet, you would use
use
it.
I would use
Yeah.
it. No, I don't. It's not that. It's
You're just tired of it. I get it.
no. It's not. It's not for me. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like I can.
You're
fully,
gonna, but the problem is you're gonna see him for the next 30 years now.
No. I'm specifically talking about Taylor. I am not. I am not.
Well,
so
you're gonna see her for the
conceited-
next 20
know.
years because she's
Yeah.
gonna.
Here's
she's
my
gonna
theory on
rock-
here's my theory on Taylor Swift. Okay. Taylor Swift is Billy Joel. She will be
Okay, I'm listening.
around forever.
selling out
And
stadiums.
when she's 60 years old, she's gonna walk out onto the stage
Just be
with a
playing
giant
Fenway.
at Fenway, yeah, or Wrigley or some shit, with a giant book in her hand, and she's gonna sit down at a piano, and she's gonna just like open the book, and she's gonna be like, "Sorry guys, I don't remember all of them, but let's go, let's have some fun." And it's you shaping up, like that's what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. Like she's gonna be playing these songs forever. She's got more hits than the Beatles at this point. She is like. she
Corey,
doesn't-
I'm not. You
yeah.
don't have to convince me. I am not such an egomaniac that I believe that all things need to be curated to me. I
Yeah.
can fully sit
You-
here and
it just
go,
don't- ain't
just
your
because it's
vibe.
not for me doesn't mean it shouldn't be popular, shouldn't be famous,
Right.
shouldn't be whatever. Just not for me, right?
Yeah.
And even then, like I can sit here and acknowledge the same thing you said. Like she hasn't really done anything where I'm like, man, fuck this bitch.
Yeah.
Like really hasn't. And it's more so, and it's not even don't care, to be honest. It's more I don't care.
Apathy. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like and I honestly it annoys me more when people are like, God, I'm just trying to watch the football game. I can't
Hey, shut the
stand.
fuck up.
And I'm like,
dude.
shut the fuck up. Everything doesn't have to be around. Oh, what does Billy want? What
Yeah.
is like who gives a shit?
You have to
You're
look at a
one
good-looking
fucking fish in
woman.
a pond.
Fuck you.
Fuck
Like, who
off.
cares? Yeah.
No one
Like,
gives a shit
shut
about
up.
you. Yeah. So I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine. Like show her 100 times, make her the halftime show, make her whatever. Totally fine. Totally fine.
Yep.
Just don't care.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So to the game, I think the Chiefs do win this football game. I think Saquon runs for 180 yards, and they still
That's
lose.
a record, you know.
Yeah, and they still lose. I don't know why or how, but I just know the Chiefs will win.
I think there's like it's like Saquon to not score a touchdown is like plus 180, which doesn't seem great. But when
Chiefs
you
have
think
never allowed a 100-yard rusher in the playoffs.
I kind of like the
Ever?
idea of fading the
Ever.
public a little bit.
Well, the Mahomes era
And the Mahomes. Okay, I got you.
have never allowed a 100-yard rusher in the playoffs.
Interesting.
I think one of the sneaky good bets to make in this game is I think Hurts's over under passing is like 208, 210. Like
Over.
it's not a lot.
Over.
Yeah, because if I think the Eagles can legitimately win this game. I think the Chiefs are very stout up front. And I think this might be a shootout.
I got the under, man. I think this is going to be a knockdown, drag out, slugfest.
I'll take the under on Hurts's passing yards on that too.
That's
I think
fair.
this is going to be. I see a 24-20 final.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
I
would be
also-
right around the line.
For what it's worth, I think this is one of the best, even superseding their previous matchup. This is one of the best trench matchups that we've seen in a very long time.
D line, O line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, there are so many good players in this game.
It's
Yeah.
a fucking.
It's weird that they're in the Super Bowl, isn't it? Isn't it weird that when you have fucking good players on your fucking team, that you end up in the Super Bowl? Isn't it weird, Duke Tobin? Give them the money.
I'm actually really glad we didn't
Gary,
pod last week
Gary,
because I had a
relax.
feeling we were
Sorry.
going to talk all about
Get
how much
you more of that raccoon jizz, buddy.
I'm
Get
talking about that, mate. I'm talking about sometimes when you talk about things that can be done that don't get done. Sometimes Gary get a little crazy and go Mud Dogs. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a guess. Mud Dogs are going to win.
Mud Dogs gonna win. He's the
This
best
is a
passer
great-
I've seen since best tackler I've seen since Joe Montana.
For trench guys, this is a great matchup. You're going to see so much physicality.
The thing is I can see 1,000 different game scripts, right?
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes throws for 4 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts rushes in 3. I can see a 10-3 game. I can see everything. Dude, I mean,
Here's
for
what I
God's
see.
sakes, the Eagles' second receiver won the Heisman a couple years ago, guys. There's skill boiling out the ass in this game.
I'm getting some voodoo from the people in the swamp. Here's what's gonna happen. Third quarter. Chiefs are gonna be down. Patrick Mahomes gets tackled. He comes up doing this. He's limping like that, right? And then he leads them back. But that drive they punt. But then that defense rises up. So Spagnuolo, he's getting the defense again, and then they rise up, and then Patrick Mahomes gets the ball back, and they come back. Chiefs tie it up. Oh my God, the Eagles go down and score. Chiefs go down and score. It's tied again. Defense gets to stop Patrick Mahomes, leads him down. Touchdown, Travis Kelce. God, oh my God. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be some valiant effort. As Patrick Mahomes gets over one of his ankle injuries that he seemingly gets every 7 weeks in the NFL. That is what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you right now. And it sucks that I'm this pessimistic about my favorite day.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the doorstep potentially of a team like first ever team having a three-peat. On the other side,
it feels
we have a
bullshit.
team top to bottom. I don't feel that way. I think I'm actually kind of glad we didn't pod last week because I would have been very adamant that the refs had nothing to do with that game.
Mm.
The Bills were McDermott has no balls. None.
Oh,
And
don't disagree with that. Don't disagree with that part. However, I do disagree with the fact that how many times can the announcer get it wrong?
I don't know how many times can Cook run for 8.5 yards and you just say, "Hey, this important drive, don't need him." Let's. It's third.
Both
and
can be
season.
true, is my point.
Third
My
and season.
point-
Let's run a screen pass for.
And that's enough for a Bills
Cooper.
first down. Oh, actually, it's 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. That happened like fucking 9 times.
Yeah. I think
Where the refs
Yeah,
are on different fucking planes on the field. That happened multiple times in that game. It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And at this point, where there's smoke, there's fire. That's where I'm at. When it's
I
this
disagree.
big, there's something. And I think
Well,
you're delusional not to acknowledge it.
The part for me, it's very hard for me to believe in conspiracy theories that rely on people that I need to count outside of one hand for. That people aren't.
It doesn't.
smart.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't
People
take
aren't
more
that
than
smart.
one. It doesn't take more than one. It takes one guy. The guy on the field. It doesn't take more than one. It takes one. One guy. No, he was here. That's all it takes.
Who?
The line judge.
Yeah, but I'm saying if it's a conspiracy, like, hey, if there's smoke, there's fire, we're gonna fix these games for the Chiefs, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that there is
Do you
more
truly
than
believe it?
enough evidence to decide that these games are not being officiated the same across the board.
And you truly believe that?
I do, yeah.
How much money did you bet on the Chiefs money line this week?
Yet?
To-
Zero.
just- yeah. Why? If you think if you're
Well,
that
it
convinced, like,
depends
they
on
get
where
fixed for them.
the amount of money that I will bet on them to win is dependent on where the coin toss goes.
I'm
betting on
I
them
keep
to
hearing
win.
everyone say like these games are fixed.
They
Like,
are going to win. The Chiefs
make
are
some
going to
money
win.
off of it.
They are.
Yeah, because they're a really good team. It's very possible that they could win this game.
Mm-hmm. They are a good team. I'm not discrediting that. They get a lot of help.
There's so many people that would need to be involved in a conspiracy of that level. And I don't trust people that much. Don't get me wrong. I still like I'm not trying to discredit it. I've watched the games. I see the same shit.
At the
But
same time,
I also see on 3rd and 10 the Bills throwing a screen pass to Amari Cooper and then getting
not false. Yeah, my point is that they're not
rushed
they're
in
not
their face on 4th and season.
they're not
Kincaid dropping a ball.
They're not mutually exclusive. Is my point. Like they both can be true.
Yeah, I don't know.
My point is that the calls that are given. All right, let me ask you. Josh Allen got that first down, right?
I don't think so. No.
Yes.
Oh my God!
I
dude,
really
you're
don't.
Crazy. You're crazy.
No
You're
way,
crazy.
dude.
You're crazy.
I didn't. No, I really don't. First of all,
You're just trying to go against the grain at this point.
No, I'm
That's what
really
you're trying
not.
to do.
I would have told you this last week too.
He got the first. He was across the line.
They tried to run that play all fucking day and kept.
But
getting
it doesn't.
stuffed.
I don't care about that.
But it worked in that moment.
No, it didn't. They
That
got
moment,
stuffed
it worked.
the most times since they started tracking the stat.
I'm telling you, man.
That's a first down.
He was across the line. He was across the line. It's not even debatable. It's not debatable. It's not.
First down.
And the argument, I do appreciate. Don't leave it up to the rest. I appreciate that fact. Like, make it convincing.
So
But-
my problem is you keep getting stuffed on that play, and McDermott is like, well, we're gonna obviously run this right
Again,
here.
the two aren't mutually exclusive.
I get that, right?
Like, I'm with you on that. Like, yeah, that's a stupid play
adjustments.
call.
None.
Agreed. That
What
doesn't
did
take
the
away
Chiefs
from the
do?
fact.
They do this weird rollout with Mahomes, exact same type of
Well,
play,
it's great. Yeah.
and they get a great they get a first
Yeah,
down.
it was-
Amazing,
it's beautiful.
amazing what happens when you open up the playbook.
Yeah, if you want to get into a debate about Andy Reid versus Sean McDermott, like, I'm not getting into that debate with you because
That's a different conversation.
it's a different conversation. But where Josh Allen was on that field is he got the first down.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how
get it.
you
I get
look
it.
at that tape and say he didn't.
There wasn't a single
achieve that.
angle that showed the ball over the line.
vertical one shows the ball at the line.
Right here. Ball's at the line. Over the line. Yeah,
I don't. Does
the one
that
that's
mean
behind the ball?
No, over the top of them.
No, it wasn't directly over top of it.
Or the sideline angle.
So
here's my angle shows
here's my
up
thing.
here with the ball.
The rule to overturn it. And again, listen, I don't want this to turn
Clear,
into
indisputable evidence.
Right.
Yeah.
When I need to watch 8 different angles, that no longer becomes clear and undisputable.
I just don't.
If I have to piece things together,
if you
it's
took
not clear and
anyone,
undisputable.
If you took anyone out of anywhere, I'd say if you took 100 people from a fucking village in remote Asia somewhere and pulled them in and said whatever language you needed to and communicated with them, did player here get the ball to this vantage point, I would say an overwhelming majority of them would just be like, yes.
If you
like gun to their head. If you're wrong, you die. Most of them say, yes, he achieved that line. Like a portion of the football reached, and that's all it takes. A portion of that football reached the line to gain. I would say an overwhelming majority of people not involved in anything else looking at that footage would say, yes, achieved. And the fact that you can sit there and take that much time and look at it and then just say, nope, is just fucking crazy to me. It doesn't make any sense.
But it's also not the only play in the game that it happened. The ball touched the ground and we called it a completed pass. Yes. That's wild to me.
And with all of that, the Bills had the ball with a 2-minute warning in front of them, and
but they shouldn't have needed it. Is the argument that you could also make? They shouldn't have needed.
Yeah, the Bills also fumbled the ball 4 times and somehow ended up with it.
Again. Those are true. Those you can't take away anything from that. But also, when the narrative is what it is, and then this shit continues to happen, you cannot blame people for being up in arms about it because it's just so fucking blatant. Like, it's like, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, guys. It was not that blatant.
Aaron, you're in the minority.
I'm aware of that, and I'm fine with that. If you want this to be the meme of me looking at a million people saying, yes, you're all wrong, that's fine. But
you're giving me magic bullet theory right now, is what you're telling me.
No, I'm saying there are so many, like, if this is how people truly believe, I either want them to bet all of their money on the Chiefs, put your money where your mouth is.
Did Lee Harvey Oswald kill Robert Kennedy?
I have no
John
idea.
F. Kennedy? John F. Kennedy?
No, literally no idea. Not comparable.
But did he? Hold on. What do you think?
What the fuck are you talking
about? Hold on. I'll get there.
Or are we talking about Lee Harvey Oswald?
Hold on. I'm getting it. Did Lee Harvey Oswald kill John F. Kennedy?
No idea.
What do you think?
I don't know.
So the fact that you don't know means that there's a possibility that he didn't. And for that to be true, a lot of people would have to be involved in that. My point that I'm getting at is just because a lot of people have to be involved in something for it to be successful doesn't mean it can't be successful. And
Corey, you can isolate one of the points that I've made and act like you've won the argument, but that still doesn't account for the 6 other things I've already said.
No, I've already acknowledged that the Bills had failures in this game, but every team has failures in the game. What you're failing to acknowledge is the fact that the Bills did things, or rather the Chiefs didn't do things.
So you think the fix is in? You think the fix is in on the Chiefs?
No. I think that given the opportunity, the refs will favor them.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
If it's borderline, they will go in line with Kansas City.
So I just don't see how you can
there's stats behind it though. That's where I'm like,
what stats?
In the Patrick Mahomes era, there's never been a single playoff game that he has played in that the other team, or that the Chiefs have achieved more penalties than the other team.
Okay.
There's never been a game where
Have
the
you
other
seen that Houston
team.
Texans team, how undisciplined they are? I
Sure,
gotta say they're
sure.
suspicious.
Okay. Well, the Cincinnati Bengals are one of the most least penalized team in the NFL. They have the most penalties against them when playing the Chiefs in the postseason versus any other team.
I don't want to be. Listen. You guys are backing me into the corner of defending the Chiefs. Don't want to be them. But if there's two options, if the fix is in on the Chiefs, bet all your money on them.
Okay. Let me back
Or
that
just
off
like,
because
why
that's
are
not
we
what I
watching
meant
the
to
games?
say. That's not what I meant to say. What I really do feel is that when the call is at best 50-50, the coin leans towards the red because it's better for the league. It's better. It's better for the league. And at the end of the day, it's an entertainment business.
Yeah, I don't know. I just see it.
And so it's better to have a superstar. It's better to have a Superman. It's better to have a guy. And it's better to have a franchise that is the best and is like it's to have a Lakers or a Celtics. The NFL needs that. And
the way I watched the Bills play that game, again, I fully blame that loss on McDermott. I think Josh Allen played a great game. You even got a turnover against Mahomes. You blew that game, just plain and simply. The Bills had the chance at the end of the game to win that game. They blew it. They had multiple chances in that game to pull away. They blew it. They had to come from behind, even after getting that turnover. And nobody else in the AFC really rose to the challenge this year to even put up a fight.
I don't think that those things are like
the one seed is playing the 2 seed.
But just because one is true doesn't mean the other can't be, is my point. Like, I think you're right in everything that you just said, Aaron. Like, I think everything that you said, like, given the situation of the game, the Bills did things that they shouldn't have done. Like, I don't disagree with
just
any
the second I give credence to what you're trying to say.
Yeah, but Aaron, it's already happened in major sports. Like the NBA proved that refs threw games. The Sacramento Kings should have played in a fucking NBA finals. Like, that should have happened.
And no crew refs a team more than twice a year.
So there have been changes since then.
So this year, there had any of the last 2 years, there hasn't been a ref crew.
Oh, in the NFL is what you're saying?
Yes.
What about in the Super Bowl?
In the NFL, the guy
crew
who's
has not
the Chiefs has not reffed the Chiefs at all this year.
Interesting. Nonetheless, I think that there is.
I think. Listen, I'm going against two Bengals guys. I get it. I know you guys have a right.
There
is a little bit. Yes, there is.
It's not just Bengals fans though. It's not just.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it's only that. But you can't
most
acknowledge that there's none of it.
Most Lions fans hate the Chiefs because of this.
I don't like the Chiefs. I can't sit here and say pro football is fixed and still want to tune in every week.
I don't think that it is. I don't think it's fixed. Again, I haven't acknowledged that. What I have acknowledged is that when an opportunity comes for a coin toss call, they'll side with the Chiefs because it's better for football.
Yeah, I think people will complain about it regardless. There's something that's considered 50-50. It's 50-50, guys. Are we going to call out the times where they don't?
Do you know what I think? I think that you feel better convincing yourself that it is what it is, that it's not fixed, because you love this sport so much and you love this league so much that it would be abhorrent to you for it to not be that. And so you're putting blinders on to the fact that it could be.
Nope. I don't think that's what's happening.
Okay. Obviously, yeah.
It's he's just standing on his own business at this point.
Yeah. Well, we all are.
I know,
yeah.
right?
Us too.
Right.
We are as well.
Right.
Yeah,
we are. Right. So, but that's where we're at now. Is I think either way, you and I try to spin this thing to him is that we've discussed this.
I don't think at this point. Yeah, but at the same time,
7 weeks in a row. Yeah.
This is something that is. I mean, it's being asked to the commissioner at Media Day of the Super Bowl. It's being asked to Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, at media day for the Super Bowl. Stuff like this is being
Yeah,
asked.
by not legitimate journalists. Sure, yeah.
Joe Burrow was
It's the
asked
biggest
about
media
it.
day of the year. Yeah, you're
Joe
gonna have
Burrow
a
was
bunch
asked about it on
Okay.
by legitimate
by who?
Dan Patrick
Really?
asked about.
I mean, I didn't catch the clip, but
he asked about preferential treatment to the Chiefs. Joe Burrow blew it. He put it down.
Yeah.
Company man. I hope here's my hope. There's nothing even close. Like I don't want that. Let me be very clear. I want a certain team. I want whomever wins. Like whoever wins on Sunday, it doesn't bother me either way. Like I'll feel nothing, regardless of who wins. I want it to be convincing though. I don't want it to be in the hands of the refs. I want it to completely be out of that. I want the better team to win, and I want it to be shown through play of football. I don't want end of game pass interferences. I don't want roughing the passer. I don't want a quarterback tiptoeing down the sidelines and then stepping out as someone approaches him. I don't want any of that. I want football. I want football. And you know how we get this back, gentlemen? Let's make football violent again. That's what we need. That's what we need. Football needs to be violent again. We need to let people fucking hit each other. That's what we need. That's how you get rid of all this shit. Is just let people just fucking hit each other. A lot of this shit gets taken away. A lot of this fucking protect the quarterback. Fuck that. Hit them. Hit them wherever you want them. That's what I want. Let's just fucking play football. That's what my hope for Sunday. We just fucking play football and we don't even talk about this shit. I don't want to talk about it. I hate it. We all love this game too much.
Yeah, I mean, I like it's honestly gotten to the point now though where it's like all of the ref talk,
like tinfoil hat to you.
Honestly, yeah, and it's also it takes away what feels like half of the enjoyment of watching the game, and it's also probably just a lot of environmental stuff of the last. Like I think I'm finally getting to the point in my life where I'm secure enough to just say, I don't want to just sit down and hate watch stuff.
You just want to enjoy your day.
I don't want to just be like, I hated watching Brady. People hated watching LeBron. At a certain point, it was the same thing with Jordan. Like we have a chance to see something we've never seen in the NFL this weekend. And I don't want to just sit here and be like, yeah, fuck that.
What happened, Todd? You just got an ESPN update. What happened?
Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund backing proposed $5 billion international basketball league.
So interestingly enough, I heard that as a conspiracy theory, this was part of the reason that the Dallas Mavericks traded Luka, because they think he's going to be the flagship player.
Ooh.
His contract is up in 1.5 years.
Yeah.
He did not sign an extension with the Lakers upon trade.
No Supermax.
That's fucking interesting, man. That's fucking interesting.
Yeah, this supposedly this thing is this international league is supposed to be.
It's the Live Tour.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they call it.
It's been going great.
The article I read is like it's the transcendence of basketball across the world.
Yes. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Ice Cube already did that, guys. It's called the Big Three.
Or no, what's the shit for the WNBA now? What's that called? That like Sue Bird is like, or no? What?
I saw a commercial for that.
It's 3-on-3.
Any of you guys watch any of the TGL by chance?
The what?
The TGL. The like total like the golf league, like the indoor.
Oh, the Top Golf League
teams. Yeah,
Top Golf League.
Or I don't think it's Top Golf, but yeah,
it is though, isn't it? It's in SoFi, right?
Yeah, but like Top Golf is the brand of like where you go to do.
Is that what it's called? 18, right?
I thought it's called like Total Golf League or something.
Oh, I thought it was Top Golf League. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Tomorrow's Golf League.
Yeah, but they're indoors playing.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, Tiger and Rory and shit like that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's cool.
It's interesting. I like the
more golf is not bad.
Yeah. I watched more of like 3-on-3 Angel Reese than I did golf, but
yeah.
She's so bad. It's so funny.
She's terrible. I become more of a Caitlin Clark fan every day. Every day.
It's just not like so.
I don't
WNBA
get
just
the whole-
refiled the trademark for the Cleveland Rockers, fellas.
I don't understand hating on Caitlin Clark. I just don't get it. I don't why would you hate on her? Like Diana
Again,
Taurasi.
what was I just saying? I'm sick of hating on greatness, guys. I'm kind of want to just tune in and watch good shit.
Yeah, but it's not the same because she's never
Why?
won a championship.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like, yeah, why? But I'm saying, why are people hating her? She's really fucking good.
Because she's a ripple to the norm.
Right.
Right, for
So,
the WNBA.
yeah, she's never won a championship like that.
No.
People don't think she
And
gets
well,
I don't think
preferential
I'm
So
just-
treatment.
but now all the thing is like, so the Fever have made a couple of pretty.
Caitlin Clark and
large
Patrick Mahomes are
trades.
not the same. Like that's not the same.
No,
Yeah,
but my
That's
point
not-
being, I'm just sick of blindly hating.
Agreed. Yeah. Generally speaking, yes. Yeah, I'm with you on that point. Yeah.
Exhausting. It's
Like
exhausting.
blindly hating. Yes.
It's
I'm-
exhausting.
Yeah.
to
Don't
hate
do that.
everything all the time.
Yeah, I don't. You don't think that, right? I'm not a misanthrope.
No. I'm speaking in general. I'm not saying you two.
Generalities.
It really
Like having
it's
an opinion all the time.
No, it's just exhausting to be like, yeah, I hate this, I hate that, I hate that. It's like, don't fucking watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can be pissed off about stuff. I certainly am.
That makes sense. Sounds like a natural human emotion.
Yeah.
We covered a lot.
Todd, you were just gonna make a point though about that WNBA league though.
Yeah, so I guess my whole point was kind of wrapped around like, so essentially Caitlin Clark was not invited to the party for this.
Seriously?
Yeah, so
That's hilarious.
Like the Olympics.
yeah, so
which is
like,
just wild. Wild.
yeah, so the whole thing around this league was like, oh, we're gonna give WNBA players another opportunity to make additional money, spread
Build
the
their
league,
brand,
spread the word
yeah.
of women's basketball.
Put a deposit down on
And
a
somebody
house.
came out and was like, Caitlin Clark already has a Nike deal. She has the biggest contract in the WNBA. She doesn't need this league. And she was like, I would have played if somebody would have asked me. Right? Like, so it got briefly brought up when
Also,
she was
having
on-
her in the league makes that league more appealing.
More money.
Yeah.
Well, the problem, yeah. So like all of the centrifuge around all of this was like, you know, she doesn't make the WNBA better. Meanwhile, ticket sales are 3 times the amount, you know, or sorry, 300% the amount when she's in the arena that whomever she's playing against. And the argument is like, oh, you know, well, the WNBA is not just her. But yeah, but like this is a really good example of like where the enemy makes the league better. Right? Because she is the enemy of the WNBA across most of the athletes. So now they're coming back to like the Fever are starting to make trades to bring other big talent in. And the first thing I read from someone who someone is really on Twitter loves the WNBA was like, they're building a dynasty in Indianapolis. When has that ever been fucking said about anything in Indianapolis before? Like they're bringing,
Peyton,
they brought
I think,
oh,
but
Sophie
Brady, yeah.
Cunningham and Caitlin Clark are playing together. They're building
I don't
this
know.
thing.
Paul
It's like,
George Hill, Roy Hibbert.
yeah, Danny Granger was there for
Danny
a year or two
Granger,
with them. Yeah, did they draft a Miles Turner?
Stevenson.
yeah, if
know.
you go to the arena up in the rafters, is we almost beat the Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's up there.
Easy. Fucking relax.
Hey, I love that Heat or that Pacers team.
Oh, they were the shit. Dude.
Yeah,
Dude, Danny
but
Granger.
it's Danny Granger. That's a good, real recognized real. New
Lance
Mexico
just
State
blowing in the ear of LeBron.
Yeah,
I was at that game, dude.
It's so
it was
funny.
incredible.
the way you're
It was
talking about
incredible.
Caitlin Clark though reminds me. Go watch like you can find it on YouTube. It's like the 2002 Cleveland Cavaliers when they win the lottery and they like interview the players and they're like, I mean, yeah, he's gonna come in. LeBron, obviously, like, I mean, he's gonna come in and have to earn his spot, and it's just like superimposed over LeBron.
43 points his first game. Yeah.
Was that DeWan
oh, is he
Wagner
really?
that was saying that?
You guys won 12 games.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
He drags
but yeah,
Mo
the WNBA
Williams
is gonna.
to the finals.
It's so funny how much it seems like the players hate Caitlin Clark.
It's
And
insane.
it's like they're gonna cut off their nose to spite their face.
Yeah, like she's gonna make you more
well-
money. I swear to God. Yeah,
You almost were
She's
in the
gonna have to
green.
earn
Just
her
relax. It's gonna happen.
yeah. The TV deals will get better because of her.
Yeah.
And not only that, here's the ripple effect. 10 years from now, there'll be someone better than Caitlin Clark because of Caitlin
Right.
Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's gonna happen. It's like people they just fucking don't see it.
Well, unfortunately for her, universally, it's been that people have tried to negate what she's done for the sport. Because even
Which is
as she was
insane.
breaking the college scoring record, the other lady that she was being was like, I didn't have the 3-point line. Who gives a fuck? She was
the
shooting
fuck
from half
up.
court.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Like,
Shut the
yeah,
fuck up.
yeah, relax. Like, she did it in 4 years too. Take it easy. Like, it was cool to watch her just drop a 40 bomb every single night. That doesn't happen
She
all
plays
the time.
different than anyone that's ever been in the WNBA.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't
Yep.
make sense. Also, I'm taking the Chiefs by 5 for what it's worth.
Okay. Aaron, who you
It's
got?
right in my 1 to 6 range.
You got the
Uh,
Chiefs.
I bet Mahomes MVP like 2 weeks ago at like plus 275. I basically just view that as a money line ticket.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm on part of me is on the Chiefs just because
You think they're better?
I think in my heart of hearts I'd be more content with an Eagles win.
Yeah.
So I'd rather monetarily make more money off of a Chiefs win.
Makes sense.
But I also,
Travis
again,
Kelce
don't
get-
really love both teams. I just, again, my whole point was it's really hard for me to hate the Eagles because I think they organically built the roster the exact way.
Yep.
I think outside of less than a handful of teams would fucking kill to have Howie Roseman as their GM. And then on the other side, I'm like, we've never seen this before in the NFL. Do I really want to just say fuck it? Like, I don't know. Again, between the hash marks, I think this is going to be a really, really, really good game, guys. It might be a defense. I've seen in my head trying to like put these bets on the board. I've seen 12 different game scripts. Like I think this game can go 1,000 different ways, and I'm really excited. I'm with you, Todd. I'm in that like maybe give me Chiefs by 2 or 1, like field goal game. But yeah, I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tight one, man. I think.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine a world where this isn't a tight one because there is. So you look at one side of it, obviously the 3-peat. We've already talked about that, but Philadelphia is. I mean, this is almost.
They just threw a 55.
Yeah, this is almost the same roster from the last Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah,
and the opportunities where things could have been better for them, they improved it.
Yep.
The running game is immensely better. I think their secondary now is better. Their pass rush is arguably better. I think Jalen Carter is, while a lot of people have a hard time with understanding what he is as a player because he's aggressive more frequently than most defensive tackles in the NFL. Like this is a bloodbath. This is a bloodbath game.
I agree.
There's no way around it.
No,
Like,
I completely agree. You know what's funny is I haven't really in my head seen the game script where the Chiefs blow out the Eagles.
No.
And yet I still
Vice
think the
versa,
Chiefs
too.
win.
Yeah.
But I can totally see the Eagles winning by like 20.
Just going out and going nuts.
Just go, you can't stop them.
Yeah. So I think the benefit for Philadelphia in this matchup too is that Mahomes has turned the ball over more this year than he has for the majority of like outside of like year one for him starting.
I couldn't wait. I had to go so bad, dude.
And like if he's gonna get aggressive and try to force the ball in a tight window, like the Philadelphia secondary is really one of the only ones that could take one away from him.
Yeah.
So
no, I totally, Corey. We were just saying how
is that Nooner?
game script wise, I don't see a world where the Chiefs blow out the Eagles, but I can totally see the Eagles blowing out the Chiefs, even though I think the Chiefs are winning.
You think whose defense do you think is better?
I think they're. I think it's pretty even. I think the Eagles' offense is better.
I think the Chiefs' defense is clearly better.
If I had like gun to my head, I would probably say the Chiefs' defense is better.
Yeah.
But point being, just watching
Like
the Chiefs
scheme
all
or
year.
so you're talking scheme,
Players
or
and
like
scheme. Players and
players
scheme.
and scheme.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think secondary is better. Pass rush probably equal, but I give the edge to the Chiefs. I think their secondary is more complete. I think the Chiefs secondary.
I think
is
so.
more complete.
I think the Eagles pass rush is a little bit better, but
Agreed.
we're
Yeah, I would
close,
agree.
We're close enough.
I also
I
think
think the Eagles secondary is just built around. It's all new, right? You're talking about 2 rookies in the secondary plus an undrafted free agent too. So, it's hard to say otherwise. But we were just talking about it. This is like, to me, this feels like a fucking bloodbath.
You think
Super
the Chiefs just
chippy.
beat the shit out of them?
No. I'm not saying
It's like a knockdown,
talking
drag out.
Yes. I mean, like, there will be long scuffles, a ton of whistles after a lot of plays. And, I briefly brought up too, like, I think Jalen Carter is transcending the defensive tackle position in the NFL.
He's like Geno Atkins meets Aaron Donald.
It's not fair to be that big and that athletic and move as the way he does. It's not fair. There's no guard or center that can match up with him for 4 quarters.
He a dog,
and,
dude.
Well, and Chris Jones is in the same bout, right? Like,
but he's bigger and slower.
Right. But I guess my thing is, like, I just think, so what I brought up was, I think we've seen Mahomes be more aggressive with the ball this year than he has been in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I do think that Philadelphia's secondary is better at taking the ball away than Kansas City's. Right? Like, I think between the 4 or 5 guys they rotate in that secondary, if there is a mistake to be made, they'll take the ball away and get good field position.
Yeah.
They have a better opportunity of doing that. I think Quinyon Mitchell is one of the best. Like, he's quickly put himself in a position to be like, is he a top 5 cornerback? We should talk about it. We have to have that conversation going into next year because of his ability to take the ball away. And
speaking of which, should Pat Surtain have won Defensive Player of the Year?
As someone who said he should have like 8 weeks ago, I'm just going to say yes.
For you and I, for Corey, for you and I know.
You listen, I think Hendrickson had phenomenal season. You can't give the defensive player to that defense. Like, a defensive player of the year cannot have been on that defense.
But here's the crazy thing: is like
85% sacks.
It's like
I totally like it's. They didn't make the playoffs and they had like a historically bad defense.
Yeah, but like also he's the only guy, and everyone else knows that, and he still led the league in sacks.
I know it.
That's why it's like, oh well, yeah. Like, that's like saying if like your quarterback led the league in passing touchdowns and he had a fucking 3-legged dog as his wide receiver 1. Like that's like the same thing.
I hear it's tough because you know what? I think that was the reason I said Surtain a few weeks ago, was because I just didn't really think there was a very clear answer.
Yeah, but then they got absolutely eviscerated week 1 of the playoffs.
I mean, the votes are in before the playoffs even start. The playoffs have nothing to do with it. It's a regular season.
It's fucking bullshit.
Yep, he's right. It's the same thing. We had this conversation 2 weeks ago when we were talking about Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson for MVP.
Oh, I knew it was going to be Josh Allen.
That one is odd, though, because it's the first time, because it's the same voters. Lamar won first team All-Pro.
Maybe they did that
first
because
time that the first team All-Pro did not win the MVP.
Josh Allen's numbers are infinitely worse than Lamar's, though.
Yeah.
Way worse than Lamar's. He had like 800 less passing yards.
That 1 year, I swear, and I could be wrong, but I want to say it was like Peyton and Steve McNair where they won like co-MVP.
Ugh.
I'm not saying, or maybe it was Favre. Doesn't really matter, but like it just seemed like a cop out.
What, Josh Allen?
I'm not. Here's the thing. I actually think Josh Allen is a more than deserved MVP candidate, especially when you factor in. I think
His
he had
impact
less
on the team.
I think he had less around him on
Yeah.
offense. I think it's a lot easier to play Lamar Jackson's
Ooh.
style of football with his skill set
Less-
with Derrick Henry next to him.
Okay. So
That's what I'm saying. Like again, MVP, define it however you want. Most valuable player. I think you could. I don't think the Ravens.
Oddly enough, I think James Cook and Derrick Henry almost had the same yards per carry average.
I don't think James. I think James Cook had a great year. I just don't like. Do you think he is as impactful to scheming as Derrick Henry?
I don't know, dude. I mean, you kind of just said it. If you're Doug McDermott, why do you let James Cook run the ball for 8.5 yards a carry and then go
Sean,
the other way? Sean McDermott. Sorry,
he's.
Did I say Doug McDermott?
Yeah, but I think I might have done that earlier.
Sorry, that's but yeah, look,
he's so frustrated.
I mean, Derrick Henry had
teach me how to Dougie.
He had a revitalization year, but James Cook had. I think you could make the argument they had equal impact to the total offense between Cook and Derrick Henry.
That's what that's fair. I think Cook. I mean, Cook was phenomenal. I just think Derrick Henry's a
bigger name
from like a game plan standpoint. I think he's going to get a lot more.
It's harder. It's harder to approach. Yeah.
No, but I will say for an MVP, I thought it was really close this year. I really do. I would listen to any argument for Lamar. I'd listen to any argument for Josh. Quite frankly, the unfortunate thing is that wasn't the championship game.
It wasn't the best quarterback in the NFL either.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't listen to any of my arguments because I've had half a bottle of Buffalo Trace.
Aaron,
I'm just
Joe's the best quarterback in football
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
He is. He is.
I don't have enough energy for this, but
all right. Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in football.
Okay.
Better than Lamar. He's better than Josh.
Pat Mahomes is going for his third straight Super Bowl.
He is, and he's thrown fucking like 12 interceptions this year.
Sure. I know who every GM would take first.
Joe?
No, it's not Joe.
You think every GM, really?
Yes, everyone. I don't even think it's a question.
I do.
I think number 2 would be a question, and I think Joe's fine. Take everybody.
You
put
think
them in a
every GM?
Everyone. Every single one.
Wow.
Truly believe that.
Hey. You're entitled to that belief, my brother. That's what you're entitled to. You're a man of the people. You're a company man, Aaron. And I appreciate that about you.
I'm just not gonna cave to these fucking Bengals fans.
No, you hold it up. And you know what? Honestly, like Pat had all my respect.
I'm with you though about that Allen one. Like
he had all my respect, and he decided to throw it away. That was on him, man. That's on him. It's not on me. The reason I feel about Patrick Mahomes is not anything that I decided. He decided. And that's how I look at it, at least. Patrick Mahomes decided how he was going to write history. And history is decided by moments. And Patrick Mahomes had a moment, and that's what he did. That's what he did with that moment. So,
yeah, man. I just
don't hear about Josh Allen's brother like fucking forcing himself on people. That's all I'm saying.
Oh God.
What?
Fucking Patrick Mahomes' like brother, and he's like forcing himself on the bar owner. Josh Allen's daddy ain't getting DUIs. That's all I'm saying.
Gator Gary's going south. He's heading
What's
south
your
of
point?
the border.
I don't know.
He's
Fuck
in the
Patrick
Atlantic.
Mahomes. I think that's my point.
You know what? And that's fine.
Former MLB pro Patrick Mahomes Sr. getting 2 DUIs.
Like I said, man,
Minnesota.
I'm spending too much energy hating outside of sports to hate in.
Who you hating on outside? Who you hating on?
This is
Who
supposed
you
to be
hating
an
on,
escape,
Aaron?
man.
Who you hating on? Don't be hating outside of sports. That's where my hate goes. That's all where outside of sport. That's the only thing because it's irrational.
Outside of my division,
Okay.
I got room for that.
Yeah, sports is where most of my hate lives. Like that. Outside of sports, I don't really have hate. Outside of that, because I don't. It doesn't like sports. It's like we're in a simulator. Like it's not real. Like it's just sports. You know what I mean? So that's where most of my hate lives. Actually, I think.
Yeah, it's fair. I just
It's like cathartic in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it out in sports, and I leave it out of every other aspect of my life.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been basketball season for me for a while, so
I hear you. Like fuck the Celtics, right?
Yeah, dude. Fuck the Celtics. Go
Dude,
Cubs.
what a win in Detroit a couple nights ago, though.
Yeah, that was fun. I was
That was
playing. I was at a
crazy.
bar watching or playing music trivia while
Did you
that
win?
happened, and it was at a gay bar.
The best bars, by the way.
The best bars. The host
best
very
bars.
flamboyantly gay. We're like way in the back, and like
Nice.
TVs are muted obviously because we're playing TV. And then like our table fucking goes nuts after Garland hits this like half court shot.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, "What happened?" And then he's like, "Oh, okay." And he like, and to his credit, like turned the game volume on. We all kind of like watched the highlights. And like we're still going nuts. And he's like, "All right, we get it. You guys are heterosexual." Like, it's just so funny.
There's a stand-up bit about a straight dude walking into a gay bar. He's like, "Guys, I'm just telling you, never been treated better in my entire life."
Yeah.
Than by gay men at a bar.
Dude, you remember what
you look amazing.
You remember when we were
thank
graduating? You remember the one dude who hit on me?
Wait, where was this?
Oh God, I was showing you the text messages. It was like the last week of school. We were quarters.
Yeah.
He was like in my group project.
Yes,
like
yes.
And he's like, "Hey man, like we're all leaving this town." And I like show Corey and I'm like, "I'm pretty."
Look how good I'm doing.
I was like, no, but like, thank you.
It was so sweet.
I was walking around fucking with a strut in my step.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. It's a Bee Gees background for Aaron.
What a Super Bowl show, boys. We went 3 hours.
Yeah,
3 hours.
Like I said, man, I'm excited for the game. I'm gonna turn it off.
It's gonna be fun.
Immediately after.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I love football too much to have any pessimism. Like I'll tune in every week. Like that's what's gonna happen.
The Super Bowl probably can't be classified as a holiday, but let's just say it is. Is this top fiver for you guys?
It should be on Saturday, by the way.
Yeah.
It should be. It should
you're gonna
be
get
on
more
Saturday.
eyes on Sunday, though, unfortunately.
Why?
More people are actually off on Sundays than Saturdays.
Saturday, 8:00 start.
Think how many people are employed at Chick-fil-A, Corey?
Saturday, 8:00 start. Saturday, 8:00 start.
8:00 for who?
East Coast.
Okay.
Runs till midnight.
West Coast people working
on Saturday?
Buddy, a lot of people work on Saturday.
Yeah, but the poor. Like, come on, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
But really, Sunday is like, that is when you will. That's why every award show is on Sunday night. That's why it's most eyeballs. It is what it is.
Got to be Saturday.
But you want to throw Monday a holiday?
Then why is the college football championship on a Monday every year?
That's a good question.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
That one sucks.
Also, college basketball always on a Tuesday night. Doesn't make any.
Night.
Yeah, I would say that's Monday, right?
Oh, either way,
Stupid.
stupid.
Championship, yeah.
Stupid. World Series, middle of the week.
Well, World Series is
it's a series.
I mean, they'll try to make Game 7 the best one, but
yeah, but Super Bowl, you have a week and a half. Like most people will. I promise you. Most people will. If you made the Super Bowl on a Saturday, you would still the viewership wouldn't dip.
Did any of you guys watch Veep? The show?
With Elaine?
Yeah.
No, I did. I know what you're talking about though.
It doesn't matter. There's a politician who basically ran on the daylight savings, like getting rid of it. And I'm telling you right now, if a
I'm with him.
politician ran on let's get rid of daylight savings and the
And
day after the
Super
Super Bowl
Salt-
is a national holiday,
No one works. My
just
vote.
quit talking. Just like have a 30-minute stump speech or 30-second stump speech.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're off to Nashville. We're gonna do the same speech. like you got my vote.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I don't need to hear any other policies. Well, maybe a couple, but like very few more.
All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Yep.
3 hours
That's
is long
podcast,
enough for a
boys.
podcast.
Yeah, man, this has been fun. I miss talking to you guys.
Hey, next
It's fun. It got a
drunk.
little heated. We had some good debate.
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. That's podcasting, baby.
All
Yeah,
right.
could you imagine 3 hours of that's true, Corey? What do you think, Todd?
You guys are so great. I appreciate everything you say. We're doing so well together. Tremendous job together.
Guys, next big NFL show is going to be our live draft show. Make sure you tune in. That's always a fucking shit show. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Some Thursday in
Yeah,
April.
My team has one of these first rounders. Can you guys fill me in on this?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron will be there this year.
Please.
He's gonna be involved. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. We love you guys.
Watch this.
See you next week.
Watch this.
Watch this.